Recording in progress. 2000 EST. OCOEE. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Hey. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I want my dog. Ay, birds of a feather, we gon' fly together. Ay, we gon' rock forever like it's heavy metal. I ain't Christopher Columbus, I would never settle. I ain't Lewis, I ain't Clark, I would never settle. God told me I'm Olympic, for real. Ay, see the kingdom, why you simping, for real? Why you talking, you should listen, for real. All this jaywalking got me limping, for real. Hey, jaywalking, hey, Jesus walking, hey, Jesus talking. Yo, big faith, yeah, I need a whole lot of that way, where I'm about to go like amigo. Can't see the vision that you can't be me amigos. I call up my girl and then we pull up to the Rego. That's the only time we pay to see you acting way different. Way different. Same book, but the page different. The page different. Is it cliche to say I'm lane switching? Well, I'm lane switching. Hold on, let me put my turning signal on, so they see me coming. They still can't see me coming. Only two things that I need is peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from up. They like, how he, who he, what is this? Hey, my studio is wherever I sit. Hey, I plug in the microphone and then you hear that click. Click, 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 click. It's a hit. Hey, way it hit them like, whoa, man. Hey, make them do the uh-oh.
All right.
Hey,
what is up? What is up? Good to see you guys. Happy Monday. Let's run it.
We come together and we pray and hold hands. He give grace so well.
Same book, but the page.
He paid the price and have no escape plan.
All right, welcome in everyone. Welcome in. Let's get to it.
Actually, his plan was the plan, so he planned it. Hey, set the bar high, he the code, so I scanned it. We saving souls on the campus. Hey, but this ain't no religion. We ain't following your antics. Hey, thank you, Lord. I should like a praying mantis.
All right, how y'all doing? Welcome in. W's in the chat.
Never out, but I'm
W's in the chat.
Even when I'm out,
let's get it. Let's get it.
Back to the beach, back to the sand. Is back to the. Only two things that I need is peace.
Okay, welcome in.
I need everything that's
welcome
coming
in.
From above. I need peace. I need love. I need everything that's coming from above.
All right, how you guys doing today? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you guys are well. Let's let's do it. Let's do it. Game time. Game time, game time. Oh. Yes, sir. All right. We'll save that for the outro. Outro vibes, outro vibes, outro vibes. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Who we got here today? Stevie Mac in the house. What up, Zyper? What's goody? Louis G in the building. Z Gamer in the house. Kelvin in the building. Arrow Sassy's here. Issam's in the house. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? 3 Ants in the building. What up, Nico? What up, OGH? Connor FX in the house. Stephen B is in the building. What up, Ben G? What up, Jay? What up, JP? My man, my man. What's poppin', y'all? What's poppin'? George VDM is in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. I think Gold's going to continue to make a little bit of a push down here. Let's see if we can get in for some more trades. What up, Engineer 14? Luffy in the house. What up, Luffy? How y'all doing? Good to see y'all. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It is time to eat. Game time, baby. Game time. It's been a great month so far. Moving into the second half of the month here, and it's full domination mode. Full domination mode. And not just domination over the markets, domination over self, man. You know what I mean? In order to master trading, you got to master self. In order to master life, you got to master self. So that's the first things first, is we need to get that mind right. I was listening to an amazing audio. It was called like the 5% Trader this weekend. And it just touches on everything that we talk about every day. It touches on all the things that Rafi talks about in the webinars and whatnot. And yeah, wow, this thing just ripped down here. Beautiful move on gold. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome in. It is Monday. It is the 16th of June. Let's go ahead and pray, and then we're going to get started here, right? Let's do it. Well, Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity, Lord, just to be together, to be with you, Lord, to be all as one. We thank you for the opportunity to do this. Lord, I'm so thankful for the internet and that we're able to communicate and dwell amongst each other and fellowship with each other, Lord. I just thank you for everything that you're doing within this community, Lord, all the veterans, all the just consistent traders that show up here day in and day out, Lord. I thank you for working in them. I thank you for just doing a quick and immediate work right away in those new traders that come into TTE, Lord, because we know that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers, Lord, they're just few. So, Father, I pray that more of them would get it together, that you would speak to their hearts, that you would speak to their minds, that you would draw them into discipline, Lord. We thank you for it. We thank you for your power to go out and accomplish everything that you've given us vision to see, and we just thank you in advance for it right here, right now. We ask that you would be with us today, go before us this week, and help us finish out this month strong. We thank you, Lord, and we give you the glory in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Time to eat. Time to eat. I did eat a little bit before the stream, not gonna lie. I might have had a little snack. Here. Move down on Goldie. So for those of you guys that don't know, I did start a little live account here, and I did take the trade on that live account. So, yeah, probably get a little bit more aggressive with this, but we'll talk about a little bit of that later. Let's go ahead and jump into the day. We got a big week ahead of us here. So today we don't have too much happening in the news. We just have, yeah, I don't think anything, right? Just this yellow folder that's going to go down at 8:30. So nothing for us to really be concerned about or really consider being in the way or anything like that. But tomorrow is Tuesday, right? Tuesday the 17th, and we're gonna have some red folders. We got core retail sales coming in tomorrow at 8:30, and then we are all in the news. You see this, all our entire session tomorrow. So we'll have a bunch of yellow folders coming out and whatnot, 2 red folders with retail sales, and that's pretty much it for tomorrow. Wednesday, so Wednesday's a big day. We're gonna have unemployment claims coming in on Wednesday this week here at 8:30, and then you're also going to have FOMC. So we will be doing a session here on YouTube, and then in the afternoon we're going to do a session in the clubhouse. So we are going to trade power hour in the clubhouse on Wednesday. We're also going to take a look at the Jerome Powell press conference as well, and that should bring us some volume in. So we do have power hour stream on Wednesday in the clubhouse. Just so you guys have a heads up, we will be doing 5 sessions that day. 5 sessions that day. But that'll be on Wednesday the 18th. Thursday we look pretty clean. I think Thursday's a bank holiday. What is Thursday? I don't even know. Juneteenth. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a holiday. So I guess there's a bank holiday on Thursday. I will probably still show up on stream and all that on Thursday, but Friday we look pretty clean too. Yeah, I don't see anything, not too much going on. So it's really tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which are going to be the big days for us this week, and then everything else should be pretty smooth here. So that's pretty much the news and what it's looking like here. Let's move on to the technicals. If you guys can give the stream a like here for me before we get into the breakdown, and if you can sub to the channel, that would be fantastic. Fantastic here today. All right. Cool. Thank you guys. Let me know real quick. Somebody in Zoom, let me know how the music is. Does it need to be lower? Is it too loud? Just talk to me real quick. Talk to me. Perfect closure here. So I got A1. It's good. Music's good. Okay, cool. Anytime someone says it's good, I just lower it a tad bit more. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. All right, let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys ready? let's do a breakdown. It's Monday morning. Don't get all eager. Don't get all excited. Don't get all anxious. Chill out. It's another day to stay cool, calm, composed, be a professional, disciplined 8-figure trader. We're going to get an opportunity to practice that today. So everyone that wants to be disciplined and be professional and have patience in the market, guess what? Today, you get to practice that, my friend. So let's do it. Let's talk about gold. This is going to be the daily time frame here. Looks like we did close bullish there on yesterday, or I should say Friday's candle. And the candle I'm talking about is this one right here, right? That green candle right there. That was Friday's closure. It closed very strong bullish. The only thing about it is it kind of closed right at these highs here, right? Right in this overall resistance level. Every time we came into this resistance level, we noticed that price created resistance and drove down, right? Created resistance and drove down. So what will we do here, right? Will we create some resistance? Will we drive down? You got your all-time high sitting up here. So pretty interesting area. Kind of reminds me of 2023. Who remembers? Daily time frame looked exactly like this. Anybody? I remember we hit this on the breakdown every single day. We talked about these highs here. So if you know, you know, but it looks very similar to what we've seen back in 2023 here when we were in the all-time highs, you know, way long ago. I mean, that was like, what was that, like 2,200, 2,300 maybe? Man, that's crazy. So yeah, very, very similar price action. We also did have that similar wick on the highs there too. So again, you know, we're in this kind of resistance level. Let's go take a look at what the 4-hour looks like. So 4-hour has been moving down, right? So we did get a closure below. We did not get a top wick on the candle that closed below here, but we did get it on the next one here. So this encouraged me to take a sell earlier and basically anticipating this daily candle to start moving back down with a bit of a 15-minute fake out. So I am bearish, right? I'm currently basing my analysis off of this 4-hour time frame. The fact that we just grabbed the pack up here, and now if we break these lows, there's a very high chance we're coming back down towards like 34.15 today. So that's a very, very high possibility. The daily is rejecting as well. Let's take a look at the 1-hour. 1-hour has some chop sitting right here. We could also say we have resistance, not yet, but in 3 minutes we can call that a resistance, and that's basically our 1-hour range here. So just chopping around a little bit. You did just get a 2 big moves, one up and one down here. Let's take a look at the 30. That was the 30. This was the 15-minute that encouraged me to get into this sell, which was basically the 30-minute candle closing without a wick at the top, 15-minute giving us a celery play, and then the entry was on this candle right there. So that was it. I did close my position here when the candle closed with like almost no wick, but we did end up making it down. That was on this the Tora Markets broker I'm using. So this is a live account that I just basically funded this weekend. So it was taken right here, celery play. Let me make it a little bigger. Celery play here, and yeah, just closed full right there. So something like that. So I'll let you guys know how I like this broker, but I put 30,000 in. I made about 1,000 today on that trade there. It was about almost 40 pips. And I'm gonna let you guys know how I like this, man. This is the sister company to Dominion Markets. It's a U.S. broker that Raja and them just put out. So we're gonna mess around with it. Basically, my goal is to take my payouts, put it into a live account, and just continue to multiply them. That's it. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, anyway, we'll wait for and by the way, I'll probably be a little bit more aggressive on that type of account, like it's, you know, my own capital and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's see, like maybe the next payout I get here, I'll dump it into that account and see if we could start trading like a 6-figure account or something here, like on the side. The link, yeah, I can send you guys a link. Yeah, the only thing is it is forex, so it is XAU USD. Yo, it's XAU USD, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna have a Raja on the stream on Thursday too, gang. So that's gonna be super dope, and we're just gonna hang out and chat and stuff. All right, let's see. XAU USD. I thought I'd never be back, but man, That's crazy. Yeah. Hey, listen. Anytime Raja calls and see if I want to, you know, do something with him, I want to help him out too, because he has a lot of very satisfied U.S. clients that unfortunately had to, you know, walk away due to the whole like MetaTrader stuff in the U.S. So I think this is the opportunity for him to, you know, service those satisfied clients that were no longer able to work with him. So I'm gonna mess around with it too. And anything he's doing, I love supporting him. So the link, I think I posted the link in the Discord. Yeah. Let me see, link. Yeah, I think this is it right here. But yeah, so moving and grooving here. I thought futures market were closed on Thursday. Futures market might be closed on Thursday. Yeah, if it's a bank holiday. But to be honest, Juneteenth was never really a holiday ever. I didn't even know that existed, to be honest. All right, so the big issue right now is the 1 hour time frame here. So we are stepping into NY Open here. Unfortunately, we didn't close below, right? So the sells are valid from up here, right, or down here. But right here is a bit tough. You're kind of midway through. It would be nice to kind of push through that support level here for another trade. So let me just see the 30-minute. I think if we can get a nice closure on the 30, that's going to help out, because we got no top wick here. We also got rejections here. Every time we came into that zone, we ended up pushing out of it, right? If you look left over here, and all that stuff. So, you know, let's wait for that closure and then we'll go from there. Perfect. I have no idea. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what the holiday is. My stops on that trade were above the wick, the green candle's high. Yeah. Right here. Yeah, I'm also gonna set up a trade Zella now for just a cash account here. So I'm gonna do just a cash account on trade Zella and you know, have that one in there too. He said it originated in my hometown. That's insane. Wow. Live stream chat. Yes, I am checking live stream chat. That's where I'm reading that's where I'm reading this from. Support wasn't right there. So support was way down here, right? Which was 50 pips. So that's why I took it. So like I said, the sells will work from up here, or they'll work from down here, but they won't work from here, right? Because now you're at the bottom of the range. You see that? There's not that much room to go here. But look where I took my sell from, right? There was a lot more room to go than what you have in that yellow box there. So again, if it all depends on where you are in the range, right? And this is why it's very important to understand the ranges, is because if you're trying to, let's say you get a closure, right? So you get a closure here, and you're going to take a sell, right? That would make a lot of sense, right? To take a sell, because you still have all that range to go. But if you don't take a sell on this candle, and now this candle closes, you don't want to take a sell here. You really don't, because now you're at the bottom of the range. So look what happened to this candle, right? A lot of times, like, what will happen is price will reject out of there. And then if price wants to continue driving up, then you're screwed at that point. So the best thing to do is, if you're down, the best thing to do is to take your sell from here, right? And if you can't get it from there, then the best thing to do at this point would be to wait for a new closure below. So a lot of times, again, like I mentioned, like, you'll break those lows there, and it'll activate a lot of like sellers that missed out on this full move here, only to start pushing up, right, to create some sort of resistance level. So the next best sell at that point is going to be now below the range. So that's why I mentioned earlier, the sells are valid from here, right, or somewhere down here below the range. But to be sitting right here it gets very tough to take those sells. You don't want to take those sells, especially on a Monday, especially when price had already made a bit of a move. Now you just want a nice little pullback, right? And then you want to take your sells off the closure below the range. Yeah. This is the link. I'll put it in my bio and stuff tomorrow. But yeah, that's the link right there for the broker. So like I said, it's basically a sister company of Dominion Markets, and I've always loved Dominion Markets. I traded them originally. And they just got, you know, for our trading style, Dominion Markets fire. So like I said, when I met with Raja, he told me all about how, you know, the MetaTrader stuff kind of put a dent into his business. And, you know, because he's an ambitious guy, he didn't make an excuse. He didn't let that just, like, he didn't settle for that lost business. I mean, what do you see him do? You've seen him lace up, button up his shirt, get out there and start promoting his broker. You know what I mean? So he got that percentage back, you know, in other places of the world, which I admire and I, you know, commend there. But, you know, they've been working on, you know, getting all their U.S. clients back too, and they're going to be doing that through Torah Markets. So, and I'm one of them U.S. clients, and I was satisfied, you know what I mean, with Dominion Markets, but I had to leave it. You know, I had to leave it because of MetaTrader. All right, Abbas, you're gone, brother. You're a grown person, but now you're in timeout. He's done. He's done. You're done, bro. I will not wait for a top wick. Not on the celery play. So on the celery plays, I usually won't wait for the top wick, especially if the 30 closes like no top wick. I was already anticipating that there was going to be a fake out here due to the 4-hour grab in the pack runner. You see how I put it all together? See how it all comes together, right? It's not just one time frame. It's not any of that. It's boom, daily at resistance. Every time we hit here, we drove down, we drove down, we drove down. Okay. 4-hour bearish closure below, no wick on the top. What do you know? Grabs the pack runner. Okay, check number 2, right? Confluence number 2. Now what do we see? We see the 30-minute candle close, right? And how does the 30-minute candle close? It closes with no top wick. Okay, what do we know about candles that close with no top wick? The next candle, it will most likely drive in the opposite direction. Okay, what do we see on the 30-minute? 30-minute starts closing bearish. What do we see on the 15? 15 gives a celery. Enter. You know what I mean? 75, 80% chance of winning. 25% chance of losing. Bam. That's it. So you see how it was all put together time frame to time frame? It wasn't just a 15-minute trade, or it wasn't just a 30-minute trade. I mean, that's how all, right? That's how all of my trades are. They're a big confluence of little pieces from each and every time frame that build up a story to help you develop confidence in your trade. That's kind of how it goes. Let's see. It's been a good month, gang. It's been a good month so far. We haven't had any, you know, we've been doing good. We've been doing good. Just stop talking, right? Just stop talking. So last week, basically 2 no trade days this month. I will get to monthly recaps. My bad about the little YouTube absence, but we're gonna do like some highlights of April and some highlights of May and all that. May was a little slower month, but we're off to a great start here in June here. So these have all been taken on the 150K instant accounts. So let's see if we can keep up this momentum here and have a good week. Yeah, I'll get those monthly reviews out here too. Yeah, you see what I mean? You don't want to take a sell here at all. No sells currently. Got to wait. Can you explain the pack runner? Yeah, the pack runner is just a very simple position where if a candle doesn't have a top wick, like this 4-hour candle, so you see how you got the breakout here? So let's just say this is a 30-minute time frame, right? And we were waiting for a closure below. So you wait for a closure below here, but then what happens is we're all ready to take a sell on this candle here, right? But it never gives you a top wick. So we can't take that. As far as my playbook goes, I can't take this. Not even once, right? Like the other day, I think there was a trade in pre-New York that moved up without a wick, and it's like, it looked great. We wanted it, of course, we wanted to take the buy. We felt like it, but what would make that no wick on the bottom any different than any other time there was no wick at the bottom? You feel me? So we never, ever break the plan when it comes to this stuff. So we can't take that trade, right? So what do? We wait for the next candle. And now what we want to see a top wick on the candle. So what happens is, we're looking now saying, hey, if the next candle can come up, break the highs, give that candle a top wick, now we could have confidence, because now if this is like, let's say a 15 or a 30-minute time frame, now we know that the 1 hour candle traveled back up, made a top wick, and now it's going to come back down. And if it does break the lows, we want to be involved in that position there. So that's kind of like how the pack runner goes, is like, you didn't get your shot on the first one, and typically that's going to be a higher time frame candle that moved down without a wick. So we want to see the lower time frame come back up, grab the pack. That means the higher time frame candle flipped, made its own wick, and now it's going to come back down. And as it breaks those lows, we're going to target, you know, this clean range to the left and take profits at that support. Pretty much that's what we're looking for. I mean, that's what I'm anticipating this 4 hour time frame to do today, is if we do break those lows, we will see a push down into that zone there, and we'll be ready for that on the lower time frame, right? You also may see some sort of a pack runner, you know, on the 4 hour. Let's say this candle doesn't do it, then maybe the next one starts to drive down and breaks the lows, doing something like this, right? Some sort of a celery play on the 4 hour chart here. So we'll see. Any trades today? Yeah, I just took that one trade that I showed you guys on XAU USD, this one right here. So entered here off the celery play, and then closed right here when the candle closed without a wick at the bottom. That was it. This is a live account now, so this is a $30,000 account that I put this weekend, and made about $1,054. So the coolest part about the live account is I could just take that 1,000 today if I really want to. So that's what I'm going to try and do, start to invest my payout profits into my live accounts, and just turn 2s into 4s and 4s into 8s, and you know the vibes. Shout out to the pro accounts. You guys liking the pro accounts? Yeah, top one, we got the bonus is going to last, I think, till the 18th. So I think that's 2 more days, right? Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, so they're doing 55% off all accounts. You can get the 7 accounts, all that, you know, good stuff. I think until the 18th or 19th. What up, Spence? My Father's Day was amazing, brother. Amazing. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Nothing like father power, whether it's your actual father, you're a mentor. You know, I've had multiple father figures in my life, and if it wasn't for them, I don't know where, to be honest, I would be right now. So I really do appreciate my dad, my mentors, and if you guys are dads out there, happy Father's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and, you know, level up. You know, level up for your family. You know, make your family proud, right? I love that. That video with Tom Brady, man, makes me cry almost every time. Where the kid goes, "Man, who's your hero?" He goes, "You know, my dad, man." He goes, "My dad's my hero." He couldn't even talk. You know what I mean? How about your kids look up to you like that, right? Instead of Tom Brady being your kid's superhero, how about you be your son's superhero? You know, and have them talk about you like that later in their life. They give it a good thought, and you go, "My dad, man, my dad's my superhero." So, you know, what you do now is all seeds planted for the future, my friends. So all of my young dads out here, keep that in mind. Let's keep our head on straight, and let's make sure we're keeping the future in mind and the future generation in mind, and let's get to it, man. They're going to be in a crazy world, right? There's a lot of other confused parents, right now in this generation, a bit of a wicked generation, you can say, a bit of an enslaved generation, you can say, but that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? That's why we're here. We're trying to share this philosophy and open up people's eyes and clear them out mentally and brainwash them, literally wash their brain into becoming all that they can be, versus having other people wash their brain and just programming them to be an absolute bot, right? And peasant. So we don't want peasants. We don't want bots. We want free thinkers. And that's why we show up here on the live stream. Join the revolution. Welcome to the revolution. What up, Sam, man? What's poppin', brother? How are you, man? Good to see you. I'll be in New York here in August. Maybe we'll do a little possible link up. Which broker am I using? I'm using Tora Markets. I think I put the link. Yeah, I'll put it in here. So if you guys are interested in the broker, it's again a sister company of Dominion Markets. It's basically Dominion Markets with a new name. It's called Tora Markets. So I just put the link in the chat if you guys want to use it. I loaded up 30 grand in it, and I'm going to try and take this to like 100K, and I'm going to keep putting my payouts in it too. So some of my payouts that I get, I'm going to just push them right into that live account and see if I can start trading like a multiple six-figure account, you know, over the next like year or two. All right, gold stuttering here on the 1 hour. Yeah, I really want to get, because, you know, my goal as a trader from the jump was we didn't have prop firms back then too. So I'm milking these while they're here. But how cool is it to be able to milk these and put it right into there? So you turn 1 into 2 over here, and then you turn 2 into 4 over here on the live account. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love to have like a $1 million cash account. Let's see. Yogi or Y code. I'm sorry. Let's see here. So can you explain this? Yeah. So this candle had no top wick here, basically. So breakout candle. This candle act as a celery above. No. All right. So great. So this is a great example. Put a buy stop on the break of the previous candle high. Never got activated. Don't really think to sell because, okay, this is great. So this is not a celery, right? So of course, and by the way, if you're new to the strategy, I would totally expect you to think that this was a celery play, right? This is perfect because when you come in, you have a broad version of the playbook, and then by asking these type of questions, I can help you crisp it up. You know what I mean? So let me explain a few things here. So this candle here, number one's got like no top wick on it, right? This candle here is more of a doji than anything, and you see how the top wick is way up here. So that means if you're going to enter in this trade, this candle's got to travel all the way up here just to get activated, right? So let me show you what the ideal celery would look like, okay? And you guys might want to like just take a picture of this. So let's say this candle closes above, right? Now the wick over here, you see how small it is? Let me give you a transformation. So this would be the better wick, right? Something like this. So you see how this candle now has a wick on it. Pretty strong body, nice wick to fill. Now, let me draw the difference on this candle. So you see how this candle now looks kind of small body, long lower wick, long top wick. You don't want to see that. You want to see a very short top wick on this candle. The long lower wick isn't a problem, right? Actually, the longer sometimes the better, right? But let's just say that's the ideal celery, right? Because now what happens is you're entering right off the break of that high there. So as this candle starts moving up, that's your entry, right? And now as you begin to fill that wick to the left, you now have a partial TP point or a break-even point or something to say that, boom, that wick has been broken. We should continue driving now, right? So you see the difference between this model right here and this model right here. This is a much longer wick, and it's more of a rejection than anything, and it's coming off of a candle with no wick. It's also coming off of a bearish 4-hour bias, right? So that's another reason you definitely don't want to try and take this position here. So this is what the celery play looks like. I mean, ideally, it's not going to look like that perfectly every single time, but it certainly shouldn't look like this one. So anytime you see this one moving forward, Y code, hold off. Don't set the buy stop. Wait for this little pullback, right? Anything will do, right? If you get that resistance, let's just say you get a new candle that closes like this, bullish. Okay, now you could take buys, right? Now you take buys because you got a new confirmation that we're going to stay up, right? But if you don't get that, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wait for a little bit of a pullback, right? So let's say price comes up, and maybe now, right, off of this closure, you can start to take buys again, right, to go ahead and fill that wick and move price up, especially if there's volume hanging out and, you know, involved in the market at that time. So does that make sense? Any questions on that? This is huge, man. So many people make this mistake. It's a beginner mistake. It's an understandable mistake, but I'm just trying to clear everything up for y'all. Good. There you go. Look, so yeah, there it is. So not a celery. So this is perfect. No celery, right? So you wouldn't want to enter on the break of this high. You would want to enter right on this. So not a good celery play. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Mr. BTC. We got to get those on the. Yeah. We gotta. Yeah, we'll link up for a few minutes this week, brother. That way we can get all those examples up in the clubhouse. I've seen a lot of you guys were taking advantage and going through the course this weekend. Very, very good job going through the webinars. You know, I sat with someone this weekend, and he said, you know, something hit me and the other week, and he said you were talking and you were mentioning that no one in the clubhouse is truly taking full advantage of the clubhouse. And what he meant by that is, yeah, maybe they show up to the live stream. Some people even half-ass that a little bit. Some people lock in and pay good attention. But then there's so many webinars, you know, that they could also be going through on their time off or on the weekends or late at night or early in the morning, like, you know, like I would do with Raja and that. And then you got all the course material, right? I bet you some people have not even gone through the course yet, right? Or they haven't even touched a webinar yet, but they have these big desires of making a whole bunch of money trading. Gang, you got to put in the work. You know what I mean? We have set up the clubhouse in a way that it is almost impossible to fail, right? If you tap into the mentorship, if you lock in on everything you truly have access to, you will win at the highest levels possible. Your psychology will be at another level. Your technical analysis will be at another level. Your confidence will be at another level. And ultimately, you'll probably be leveling up in all areas of your life, because that's how good some of this material really is. So if you are in the clubhouse, take advantage of all the material that you guys have access to. All that material is here for you to further your education and to shorten your learning curve. Cool? Cool. I don't know. AB Mike, what's popping? Is AB Mike here? I don't know. He's usually here. If he's not here yet, he'll be here soon. Let's see. All right, so we'll see if I guess the 1 hour or the 30-minute candles can push through here. We got about 7 minutes left on this 30-minute candle here. 15 giving us a new resistance. So remember what I drew out earlier? You know, if we can get that opportunity here, then that might be golden for us. He's celebrating his birthday. Yeah, sure. What up, Pablo? Good morning, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Little Monday. Yes, yeah, the trade reviews are coming in hot, brother. They're coming in hot. Me and John were talking about that. We look and we're like, yo, we're slacking. Magnus taking the bull by the horns with the trade reviews. Yeah, we'll get him up there. What up, Scott? Good morning, brother. What's good, Foster? How are you, man? Oh, AB Mike, he was in pre-New York. Well, you know, honestly, I don't think he would mind me sharing this, to be honest, because I think it helps a lot of people. But, you know, I got on with AB Mike this weekend, and we just chopped it up for a little bit, and we talked, and, you know, we just caught up on some things. And it's like, you know, I love AB Mike. He's been around here for a long time. He's a free thinker, which I admire. And, you know, for a little while there, he was trying to figure out another strategy, right? So he would message me. He would say, hey, you know, how do I do this and how do I do that? And I would encourage him and stuff like that, and, you know, tell him kind of there's a little bit of input, right? But at the end of the day, what I told him was, dude, I never made any of this stuff up. I followed Raja. I followed Don. There's no reason, and this goes for everyone out here, by the way. And again, like, it's such a touchy topic as a leader, because I want to encourage people to go do their thing, right? But I also, in a way, know where that leads. Does that make sense? Why? Because I've done that before, right? Multiple times in my trading and in just in life in general. But as someone who has done that, I don't want to discourage anyone from going out, testing the waters, and being curious to potentially find their own way, right? I love that. I encourage that. And I always did encourage AB Mike in that, right? I say, hey, maybe if you do come back to me with a really good system and it's producing really good results like our current system, then maybe you could even teach that in the clubhouse, right? So I have no problem, but you got to come back to me with the results, right? So, and that was fine and dandy. But you know what he said to me? You know what he said to me this weekend? He said, Nick, I ran around. He said, when I first joined you, you know, I had linked up with Scott and we kind of locked arms and we just said, you know, we're going to do the playbook, you know, and, you know, they got funded on their forex accounts, and they both got payouts and they made a good amount of money. And then AB Mike, you know, and along with other traders, right? Like, this is going to happen to you as a trader. You're going to get some profits, and then you're going to kind of feel like, hey, I'm almost, you know, unstoppable and I can do anything in a way. But, you know, that sometimes that doesn't lead to the best roads, right? So, yeah, so he told me, you know, after that payout, I started going down my own path. And I started trying to figure things out, and I started going to the lower time frames. And, you know, he told me he brought a couple guys with him, and I love the fact that he was just owning up to all of it. You know, I didn't even expect that from him, or I didn't even expect to have that conversation, you know, over the weekend. But he just hit me with it, you know. And then you know what he said? He said, "But you know what, Nick? It was tough. It was a struggle. It was blowing a lot of counts. It looked good, you know. Everyone thinks it looked good, but it really didn't produce any results." And he said, but you know what? The last 2 months, I've held the same 50K account. I've gotten payouts on it. I've gotten multiple payouts, and I've also kept the account. Didn't even blow it with the drawdown or with the profits taken out. And you know what he said? I go, well, what changed? You know, he goes, I came back to the playbook. He goes, I locked in 2 months ago, and I said, forget all this. Right? This guy Nick shows up every day. He does the same stupid stuff every single day, right? And he gets the same stupid results every single month, right? And again, that's where you start to do, and this is why I'm trying to share with you guys, like, you want to create a trading business that's going to be predictable, right? It's going to be predictable for you. It's not random, right? I can know almost what to expect month by month. Like, I can almost know what to expect in August, right? In September, because I know the strategy that I use, right? And I know it'll produce. So he said, you know what, man, I came back to the playbook. I stayed dead on it, man. For the last 2 months, I've had the same 50K. I've gotten payouts, and, you know, he's just back on track now. And it's a beautiful thing to hear, you know? And again, as a leader, when someone tells me, hey, I'm going to check out these other time frames, I'm going to look into this other strategy, who am I to say, bro, don't do that, right? Don't do it. Stay here. Stick with this. Who am I to do that, right? Because what happens if they find a multi-million-dollar strategy down there? right? And I, as the leader, say, no, don't do that, right? So I encourage people to go down their own road, but at the same time, I've done that before, and I know that that road typically leads back here or, you know, out of trading. So why waste the time? You know, why waste the time? So, yeah, I just thought that was super cool. AB Mike just kind of just sharing that with me this weekend, and it's another testament to the playbook. And, you know, over all these years, right, you know, the last like 3.5 years that we've been doing this publicly and online, we've had so many names come and go. Yo, change the strategy, it doesn't work anymore, don't do that, the markets don't do it, blah 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 blah. We've had the same, we had people come and go, different names say the same thing, yet our playbook continues to dominate. It continues to produce an income, it continues to make money, and it continues to simplify trading at new levels, right? So, you know, it is what it is. The playbook continues to last the time. It's simple price action. And I think people just get emotional when they say stupid things like that about the system won't work anymore. It's like, no, you just can't figure it out, buddy. Right? Respect the schmear, right, Louis G? Like, you just can't figure it out because you're too distracted. You're not paying attention enough. You're freaking chasing the money every single day, right? And where's that getting you? Where's it getting you? Nowhere, right? And then you got these other guys taking these little base hits, right? Little base hits every single day. They don't even know how to spell their name, right? But they know how to follow this plan. And here you are, Mr. Corporate Hot Shot, making $150,000 a year, and you can't even keep your discipline in check. Feel me? So it's all about following this plan. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Discipline is the dopamine. Anyways, I thought that was super cool though. So shout out to AB Mike. You know, and I'd giggle with y'all a little bit. You know, I had the little giggles with you guys with the little sum, but I knew the little sum might be a big sum problem in the future. You know what I mean? Because, and look, I remember exactly where I was the day that I committed to never touching the 5-minute time frame again. That's why it's been so difficult for me to follow you guys onto that 5-minute time frame, because I've been so hurt by it. I'll never forget where I was. I was up at Woodbury Commons. I was with Anna. We were getting something. It's a big like shopping center up in New York. And I looked at it. I said, I am never ever trading the 5-minute time frame. I was in a little Telegram with some of my boys. I said, you guys can do whatever the hell you want moving forward. I will not touch that 5-minute time frame with you guys anymore. But you know. Yeah, many people come and go, yapping, but, you know, the playbook still remains profitable. My peas are popping. I'm getting fired up, True Trades. I'm getting fired up. Gotta step back. The mic's hot. Respect the schmear. So for everyone out there, just respect the schmear. Cuzzy, come on. My peas are popping. Had to let her go, bands counted up. I'm telling you, had to let her go. Yeah, honestly, the 1 minute, I find more confident in the 1 minute than the 5 minute too, bro. You know what I like? I like NQ, 1 minute time frame. Anytime the 15-minute candle runs down without a bot. This my play on the 1 minute, which I haven't really taken in a while. But let's say like price came down, tapped into that zone there. The 15-minute, I got like no wick. I love looking at the 1 minute down here and trying to anticipate that wick. That's been like my only play on the 1 minute, and it's only been on NQ. Any reason I only trade gold and NASDAQ? Yeah, I'm not that smart, to be honest. I like to keep things very simple. If I have to look at multiple pairs, it gets me confused. So I typically just like to look at 1 or 2 pairs, and that's pretty much it. You know, that way I don't get too confused or anything. Yeah, some of my friends, they have like 15 pairs, and they like find calmness in the chaos of all that. I personally don't like having multiple pairs on my watch list. Plus, I also, a pair is like a friend in a way. It's like if you could build a relationship with, like, imagine having like 10 friends over having 2 friends, right? You'll probably get to know them a little bit better and probably get to understand them and have a better relationship with them as opposed to having 5, right? So that's pretty much why I enjoy having two pairs, pretty much. Oh, that's amazing. The Lord made it clear that the TT strategy is the one I should follow. W. Praise God. That's amazing. Just got my prayer answered. That's funny, yeah. Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. For those that have ears to hear. Yo, Javi, what's up, brother? Exactly. And again, there's no right or wrong, right? And again, that's why it's so hard to tell someone like AB Mike, hey, don't do that, bro, right? Because none of us are right, none of us are wrong, right? We're just trying to figure this thing out and put things together to make profits at the end of every day, week, month, or year. So, there is no right or wrong. Someone's in a sell right now. I'm not. Is that right or wrong? Nope. Is he right and I'm wrong? Nope. Someone's in a buy right now, believe it or not, on gold, right? They could be right. They're just trading their system. That's all. They might be looking at some Fibonacci or something over here, like something like this, right? And they're like, yo, we're bouncing off of 50. We're bouncing off of 60. It's going to move up, right? So there's no right or wrong. It's just what makes sense to you. What can you be consistent with on a day-to-day basis and have it actually produce results? Right? I mean, again, the first thing, it's got to produce results, right? But then it's like, can you actually show up every day and stick to it? So that's the big thing. All these strategies, for the most part, will do you right. It's just, will you stick to them long enough? Will you learn them so that way you can actually make the money off them? Yo, what's up, Cameron? I'm doing fantastic, brother. How are you? Fantastic. What up, True Trades? I see a lot of newer names in here. Appreciate y'all being here today. If you guys can, give the stream a like, sub to the channel, and let's have a good day here. Let's have a great day. Crude oil. Yeah, I have some friends that trade crude oil too. Yep. Multiple pairs is exhausting for you. Same. I'm joining the clubhouse next month. I'm leveling up. Yeah, that's amazing. Guys, join the clubhouse. Let's lock in and let's level it up. We're going to new heights in the clubhouse. We've got a lot of great plans. We're just getting started here. A lot of people took payouts this past week. Overall, this month has been a super solid month. Last month, we took over $120,000 from Top 1 Futures between TTE. I think this month we could take 200K. What up, Johnny Gems? There he is. What's poppin'?
Yo, my man. What's goody, brother?
Blessed and highly favored, G. How are you?
Yes, sir. Same here. Blessed and highly favored, bro. Grateful for a new week. Let's get it. Let's get to work.
Oh, yeah. Abundance,
up,
abundance. Chat? Blessings.
Time to spend all week inputting positive things so we can output positive things next week.
Yes, sir. Rafi's webinar went crazy this weekend. Fire webinar, another one.
Facts.
Not many teams out there. So when I say TTE, like, by the way, this is so much bigger than me. This thing is way bigger than me, right? This is literally a work of God and multiple other workers that have come in and truly made TTE a special place to be. But I was listening to this, I think it was called The 5% Trader. It was an audio book, and no one does what we do. No one has a mental performance coach on hand, like where Clubhouse members, even YouTube, have access to this man who has worked with literally hundreds and hundreds of professional athletes, coaching them on how to have a strong mental game, mental performance game, and we've got that right here. So not many other teams have someone like that who can deliver that message in such a unique way to where it truly like gets into your mind like that. So Rafi has been absolutely killing it on these last couple webinars. The next one's going to be even phenomenal. I think we're getting a volunteer on the next one, right? To really dive in and change your life. So yeah, W webinar this weekend. I'm not sure if Rafi's here, but man, amazing work.
Yeah, facts. That was fire, man. Shout out Rafi, gave us the sauce. And you're right, Nick, man. Our team's stacked, man. We got a mental performance coach in Rafi. I mean, to have Rafi as the mental performance coach is great. So far.
Yeah. Plan on joining this week? Very nice, very nice. Hey, we'll be here. We'll be here winning, brother. We're just waiting for y'all. That's it. That's it. My goal is to eventually get this YouTube to like 4,000 or 5,000 viewers so we can impact 4,000 or 5,000 people every single day, get the clubhouse to 1,000 plus. So we got impact and inspiration going all over the world at this point. So we are just getting started. The clubhouse is going to have so many features. We're going to have, there's even more pieces to the puzzle that are going to come together in due time. Different educators, different, it's going to be amazing. Eventually, different sessions. Eventually, it will even roll out to what will one day hopefully be a hedge fund. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, 1,000 members in Clubhouse coming in hot. Let's get it.
Yeah. Will we get access to the course content? Yeah. Yeah. So when you join the Clubhouse, you have access to everything. Everything.
Yeah. That too. We're also adding more videos into the course as well, you know, as we continue to progress and grow ourselves, you know, and just endure this journey of trading. So yeah, gonna continue to add more to the course as well.
True. I got about 4 or 5 videos here to record this week and upload into the Clubhouse course as well.
Yep.
One question, difference between Clubhouse versus YouTube. Clubhouse is 4 streams a day. So YouTube is just a YouTube live stream that you can come on to for the New York session. And obviously you can ask questions in the chat. It's a live chat here. But, you know, Clubhouse is 4 sessions every day. So it's got like Asian, London, pre-New York, New York session. We're going to flip-flop power hour here and there moving forward from time to time. Plus you have a full course in there. Weekly webinars where we get together and just live chats. You know what I mean? If you want access to us and you want to ask questions and get your trades reviewed, charts reviewed, it's just a much more intimate setting and you're just around us a lot longer, right? Being live 4 times a day is pretty awesome. You know, you start to develop friendships and relationships in there and really start to follow price action. So yeah, the Clubhouse has so much to it, more than just, you know, the live streams as well now.
It's the energy, man, in the Clubhouse. I think the energy itself, you know, you're going to be attracted to. Yeah, once you get in the Clubhouse, you're not going to go back. You know, the education, the energy, the community, you know, especially if you're a lonely trader, you know, coming into a Clubhouse, you're going to, like Nick said, develop friends. And yeah, it's not going to be lonely anymore. Yeah. It's much more fun to trade with a community versus trade with yourself. I mean, I think a lot of us can agree with that.
Yeah, and can I tell you what I'm most happy about? Like what excites me the most is that we see people come in the Clubhouse, and this is how I know that this confirms to me that we're truly delivering value. You know, outside of the payouts and people making all this money and the messages that come in and thank you, you know what I mean? Outside of all of that, which already kind of shows me how much value we're truly instilling in people, but the numbers never lie, right? So the coolest part about the Clubhouse is what we see is when people come in for 1 month, they tend to sign back up, not just for 1 month, but for 3 or 6. And by far the coolest thing that has blown my mind is the current retention rate, right? So that means people who come into the Clubhouse and stay, right? 88% retention rate in the Clubhouse. That is mind-blowing, right? So that means out of everyone that comes through the Clubhouse, 88% of people continue to come through every single month after month after month. So that just puts a stamp of approval to me and shows me, hey, we are truly inspiring and impacting the world through this program here, right? And in return, it's manifesting itself into the physical form, which is people growing, getting better, thinking better, getting more money, getting payouts, right? It's physically transpiring now and manifesting into the physical form of people actually changing their lives. Like, we've got people in India taking payouts for like $5,000. Do you know how much money that is? They're like kings now. Like, their whole lives have completely changed due to the fact of being in the clubhouse for 1 or 2 or 3 months, learning the game, getting the hang of it, and boom, you know what I mean? So, and we're not just talking about people in India. We're talking about people in the U.S., all over the world. We're seeing success just rise at the highest levels possible of people coming in here and saying, dude, what the heck? Like, I've been doing this trading thing for 2-3 years, and all of a sudden it's just boom, clicking like that, and all of a sudden these guys are getting payouts and passing their funding companies, and as a leader, it's like the coolest thing in the freaking world for me to see. So I'm proud of everyone in the clubhouse. Again, would I say everyone's taking full access or taking full advantage of it? No, but everyone is dialing it in and winning at the highest levels, and if they do take full advantage, they will actually just, you know, shortcut that learning curve.
Yeah, man. I am super proud of the clubhouse as well, Nick, man. You know, even those who haven't even achieved any payouts yet, there's people making a ton of progress down here. Even if they're not making payouts, their habits are different than when they first came in. You know, they go from taking 10 trades a day to 1 to 2, you know, from over risking to risking what they're comfortable with risking, to taking random trades, to taking playbook setups. Even if they're not getting payouts, which they are going to, they're making a ton of progress here and learning and growing every single day, which is key.
Yeah. And you know what I care about most? And if you go back and listen to me in 2022, this was things I cared about even more than helping people make money, is the fact that, again, like John just said, you'll have people who maybe, you know, they haven't got a payout yet, right? But you know what? They text me and they say, Nick, I haven't gotten a payout yet, but man, I appreciate you, bro, man. I take my daughter on daddy-daughter dates now because of this clubhouse, bro.
Right.
Bro, my wife the other day, she grabbed my hand, bro, for the first time in years, right? Where people be like, yo, our marriage was on the rocks, bro, on the rocks. And because of the things I learned here and the little things I start implementing and the habits, man, my wife is smiling at me now. My kids are looking at me like they love me again, you know? They're proud of me again, right? And like, that stuff, man, is so much bigger than any amount of money that you could tell me you made, right? Oh, I made 10 grand, right? That doesn't fire me up, man, as much as, dude, I haven't had a sip of alcohol in 6 months because of this stream, right? Or anything like that. So those are the things that fire me up more than people talking about I made this amount or I made that amount, you know? So that's one of the biggest things that we see. And that's one of the biggest things I would say I'm most proud of in this community is people are changing their lives, right? Little by little, habit by habit, day by day. And that's how the game goes. You know, it never happens overnight, man. Remember, like I told you guys, success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over many nights of staying steady, being consistent, believing when other people won't, showing up early, staying late, right? Putting in the work, being kind to yourself, doing what others aren't willing to do, making a habit of that type of stuff, you know? And that's why we're here day by day, to continue to exemplify that and just roll examples and examples and examples up in front of you.
Yeah, man. That stuff right there get me emotional, bro. Thinking about that, the impact on others, man. That's what's up.
Seriously.
Beautiful to see.
Because you guys think you're here for trading or something, but you're really here because there's something in the pit of your stomach that you just can't sit with, right? It's either you're working a dead-end job, or you believe like you're worth more, or you know you've got this vision that no one else can see, right? There's something going on in the pit of your stomach, just like there was in mine, that says, I gotta make this happen. I got to do something with my life. I'm called for much more than what I am right now. And I don't know if you guys are anything like me. I had that pit in my stomach since I was a very young kid. and I would work these 9-to-5 jobs, and I say, this is not me. This ain't me. You know what I mean? I'm worth more than this. And it's not that I was better than anyone else, right? It was just that I knew I was called to greater things. And, you got to step into that. If you have that calling, if you feel that pull, that means that you're truly meant to do something great with your life. Believe it or not, I think some people don't have that pull. But if you're here, right, if you're on this live stream listening to the words right now, then you were meant for something big. If no one ever told you that, I'm here to tell you that. I don't know who you are, but I know whose you are, and I know who created you. And God don't make junk. God don't make no junk. So just find your worth, find your value in the work, and just get to it. Let's get to it.
Sir. Amen.
But we're proud of you guys. We really are. You know what I mean? We're fired up about more of our friends being rich, right, and wealthy and abundant in all areas of life. I don't just mean that in a material or a money way. I mean that in all areas of life. We are excited to continue to have rich and wealthy friends.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amen.
Yep. Gotta love Mondays. Gotta love Mondays when gold's in a range.
I love this price action, bro. Pretty chalked.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you took those sells?
Yeah, I took that one sell. That was it.
Nice, bro.
On XAU USD.
On Torah?
Yeah, on Torah. I'm going to let you guys know how I like Torah. For those of you guys that just came in a few minutes ago, so I did take a celery play earlier. This is a live account that I started with Torah Markets, which is a sister company of Dominion Markets. So it's basically Raja's U.S. broker. So I'm going to support him, and I loaded up 30 grand over the weekend. So we'll play with that. That's about how much I took out in payouts this year, give or take. So I just decided to put that amount in. And then what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably just going to chip away on this account, get a little aggressive. It's my own capital here, so I'm free to basically do whatever I want with it. I'm most likely going to start taking payouts and dumping maybe 60-70% of the payout into this live account here. And I don't know, over the next couple of years, try and get it to like $1 million or something.
That's it, bro. Just let that thing grow forever.
I'll keep putting some more money in it too. Like I'll put like payouts in it, a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there, and yeah, just build it up.
Bro, a personal account could be an account that literally is like an investment account that just grows over time, bro,
Yeah, you got to put money places too, man. You can't just keep all your money in the bank. So those of y'all that are starting to get some money, and that's why I say, like, a lot of people ask, like, traders, is trading your only income? Because if it's not, then you have to be a complete scam, right? It's like, no, like, anytime you make money anywhere, right? The idea is to turn that money and put it into assets, right? So let's say I just made a whole bunch of money in, I don't know, my job, right? I'm going to take that money, put it into the market. Or let's just say I made a whole bunch of money anywhere, right? I'm going to take money, put it into the market, or find different ways to invest it, whatever it is. So as you begin to make money in the markets, you will begin to turn into an entrepreneur, right? Naturally. You're not just going to stay every single day with an active, like if I don't take trades here today, I don't make money in the markets, right? But if I have an e-commerce store that produces 10 grand a week, whether I open up the website or not, then I know I'm making some money, right? So the idea is to take your trading profits, put it into e-commerce stores or put it into assets, right? That can produce you more of an income. So you got to start putting your money places. And like one thing that I'm gonna just do is start putting money in this live account, you know what I mean? I'll just stuff some money there, and then that way I can continue to trade it and multiply it and just have it sitting there, right? If I needed it, I could take it. If not, I can continue trading it.
Yeah, bro. Live's definitely, I think live's the way to go too. I mean, do both, but live and prop. But dude, now live, you could take out your money right now. It's not like, yo, I need 10 more days, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I made a G here today, right? I made $1,054. I can withdraw that just right now.
Right now.
That's the cool part about having the live accounts. You don't have to split it. You don't have to wait. There's not a consistency, all that stuff. So, I mean, I would highly recommend you milk these prop firms like I'm going to do. Milk them with me, right? But on the side, over time, think about maybe a live account.
Yeah, facts, bro. Are you treating this account a little bit more aggressive? Because like
Yeah, a little
I
bit more
was I was
aggressive.
looking at those sells too, and I didn't get in because no topic.
I used the celery play there. I used the fact that the daily's in rejection. 4 hours ran the pack, 30-minute close at no top wick, and just
You
executed.
didn't care about 30-minute not having a topic.
I didn't even look at it, honestly. I only looked at the daily 4 hour and the fact that the 30 closed without a wick, and then I went down to the 15. I seen the celery play, and I just executed. Is it open to anyone now? Yes. Tora? Yeah, let me send you guys the link here. So this is the link to Tora Markets if you guys want to put money in an account. I'm just going to trade them on the side, moving forward as a cash account. But I'll put the website and stuff in my bio on YouTube starting tomorrow and all that. Yo, what up, Ayush? How you feeling? And Tora Markets, it's a broker for not just you. It's a U.S. Like U.S. clients can use it now, but it's anyone could basically use it. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. I haven't traded XAU USD in quite a bit. It's a throwback. That's what I've been doing, trading on the live sides. Yeah, exactly. Why not? And we've been talking about this now for a couple weeks, and I figured why not do it? Everything kind of happened perfect time. Raja also, he came to me and he told me about the broker. He's, because I don't know if you guys know, but I traded on Dominion markets for a very long time. So that was my broker, and I was upset, man, when we couldn't use Dominion anymore. But it is what it is, right? I mean, that encouraged me to move over to futures and whatnot, and I think it was a good move. But yeah, Raja hit me up. He said, hey, this is the U.S. broker if you want to use it. It's exactly like Dominion Market. Basically, it's Dominion Markets, right, with just a different name on it, and it's regulated, so U.S. clients could use it now. Yeah, I mean, that was bummer. That was probably a bummer too for him, because imagine having satisfied clients that you can no longer service, right? So they want your product, they want your service, but you can't give it to them, right? So I guess that kind of fired him up to get something going in the US. Welcome to the freedom of withdrawing anytime you want. Yeah, exactly. They use Trade Locker. Yeah, so they're using Trade Locker. And I like Trade Locker. I mean, I've used them before with Top One. So Trade Locker is pretty dope. Yeah, but basically that was the trade I took. It was the gold sells there. 5 lots. And yeah, 836 and then 218. All right, Goldie, rejecting the highs, rejecting the lows. What's going on? The spreads, compared to futures, yeah. The one thing I like about Dominion is they're usually like a pip and a half to 2 pips max on Dominion, so it's not that biggie. The link, I just sent the link. We'll put it in Nightbot and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send it one more time. We'll put it, maybe we could put that in Nightbot, that link. That'd be dope. Have registered and verified. Nice, yeah, it's pretty quick. They have a very, very fast and efficient process too. Yeah. The best onion play scenarios, good and bad. Yeah, the best onion play scenarios are, let's say the higher time frame is bearish, right? So the higher time frame is bearish, and we're looking at this next, and when I say the higher time frame, I mean the 4-hour candle, right? So let's say the 4-hour candle looks like something like this, right? So what that is that's basically price on the lower time frame had moved down, right? And now it's trying to pull back to continue moving down, right? To kind of trend like that. So what happens is on the lower time frame, you will get price that looks like this, where you had a move up, right, from that wick. So you have a move up there, and then what you'll have is, you see how this candle just drove all the way down. So on the lower time frame, what that will look like is something like this, right? Let's just say it's the 1-hour time frame. On the 4-hour candle, it'll look something like that. Let me draw one more. Boom. So that's 4 1-hour candles, right? So first one opened up, pushed up right here. Next two started driving down, and then we pulled back to create that wick, which is going to be right here, right? So that 4-hour candle's closed. So when we're talking about the best onion plays, we're trying to line it up with the higher time frame. So now we see that this next candle here has opened up, and it's going to make this top wick here. So you see how it made that top wick? So what that will do is that will plant a bullish candle here, right, on the lower time frame, something like this. And that'll make up that top wick, right? So now that this top wick's in place, price going to want to start moving down. So this is now where we are going to look for resistance levels, or just a resistance form, right? So let's say now you get this candle here to form something like that. That's an onion play. So now we've lined up the 4-hour idea with the lower time frame, and now what we're doing is, now that we have seen this 4-hour candle create the top wick, and now that it's starting to kind of push down, we're seeing that push down is represented by a bearish closure on the 1-hour chart, right? So now you see that wick right here. That wick is this wick. What do we know about these wicks? What tends to happen with these? They get what? They get filled, right? So that means when we say the wick will get filled, that means that we are anticipating that this 4-hour candle will move down and fill the wick, right? So a 4-hour wick fill is simply just a 1-hour 30-minute range fill, right? So this is where we get into these trades where we say, okay, cool, we have a brand new resistance, everything makes sense on the higher time frame to go down. This is where we begin to enter our sells, and that would be the ideal onion scenario situation, where now you come down, you fill that wick, you fill the range, 4-hour candle continues to melt off, and then that's where you get paid on your analysis. That's how you get paid on your analysis. Yeah, Trade Locker's dope. I like Trade Locker. Yeah, Tora and Trade Locker, yeah. All right, cool. Yes, they do have accounts with like no spread, and then they have a where you pay a little bit more in commission, and then you got the I think it's like an ECN and a Pro, I think. Yeah. Raja's wick fill scenarios for almost 10 years been working. Exactly, and that's all that is. Everything I explained to you, right? And then, by the way, so that's going to happen during a trending market, right? Where you're going to get price do that, where it's not going to consolidate much. It's just going to flow. You see how it kind of just flowed where there wasn't much consolidation? But then there's also going to be times where this happens, where you have the 4-hour candle that drives down, right? Let's just say right here where we have this 4-hour candle, right? It drove down, but then what happens is all of a sudden it starts to range on the lower time frame. So anytime you're in a ranging market, you're going to look for a breakout, right? Anytime that you're in a trending market, you're going to look for an onion. You might want to write that down. Anytime you're in a trending market, you're going to be looking for buys or sells off of support and resistance. Anytime you're in a ranging market like we're currently in here, this is typically where if it's a no trade range, you're going to want to wait for a breakout and not take the buy off support or sell off resistance, right? Unless you're like way up there where you're selling at the top of the range and it's got enough pips in it to actually make sense of a trade. If not, like this buy here just doesn't make sense at all, right? You got a lot of rejections. You also got resistance here, the 4 hours bearish, right? So what I'm looking for is more so a closure below, like that, bam. And then that would line up with the 4 hour. That would be a breakout. And then now we could take sells. If we look left, there's a ton of clean range here to the left. Am I trading gold or mainly futures? Mainly futures, but I am going to be trading, I'm trading gold futures, but I'm also trading XAU gold too. Yeah, now, just starting today pretty much. TK's in the house. Leverage on Tora, I think it's like 500. I think it said 500 to 1, which is more than enough. More than enough. So like that should do even on like small accounts. If a person doesn't have discipline in everyday life, does it affect their trading discipline? Usually. Very rarely do you see like people who are undisciplined in life be successful in anything. Right? Because again, how you do one thing is typically how you do everything. So very rarely does someone just be very, very disciplined in all this stuff in one area and then not pick that up. But you know, there's obviously exceptions. Just clicked on the live. Oh, yep. A boogie with the hoodie. Today's Asia trade. We didn't take a trade in Asia today. Yeah. Futures gold and XAU. Sometimes there's a little difference in the price action itself. Haven't seen much of a difference. Right now it looks pretty much exactly the same. Just little differences. There's some spread on the actual gold XAU chart. There's like no spread on the futures. Futures is all regulated here in the US. I don't know if you're in the US or not. Forex is, you know, not or I should say like this would be like more so Forex style over future style in terms of like spread or slippage and things like that. But luckily this is a US broker, and all the US brokers in terms of like, John, remember like forex.com? Like if you try using forex.com in the US, you won't even be able to open up an account. If you had $10,000 in your account, you'd barely be able to trade gold. Right? You just don't have enough leverage. So that's why we use a lot of these brokers if we're going to, because the leverage is so high on them. Yeah, I've already gone through the 4-hour stuff, you know what I mean? But we're gonna be trading these accounts, right? I'm gonna just do my own thing on these other accounts. So we're gonna continue to focus on the future stuff. That's my main focus.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Love that you have an option now to trade personal capital. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's just an option. You know what I mean? If you got, I mean, I'm going to do it. It's an option for you if you want to do it. If not, you know, let's keep trading the future stuff. Yeah, don't change anything. As soon as I stopped doing 5-minute time frame, locked into 30-15 with the playbooks, when I started being profitable trader. So easy. Yeah, to get faked out in the 5. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Realistically, how long would it take you to grow like 30K to $1 million? I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Anytime, I guess.
That's a big jump, right? It's a lot of money. You're talking about what 870,000, right? Or something like that. Wait. 30K? $30-minute, the holy grail effects. Would I recommend joining the clubhouse for traders still on their first challenge account? Yes. Honestly, the sooner you get in the clubhouse, the better. It's gonna, and I'm not just saying that to get you in the clubhouse, but like, you're gonna hear how to stop the nonsense, right? You're gonna hear very quickly on how to get disciplined and be a professional. And the last thing we want you guys doing is spinning around in circles, right? So the sooner you get the information, the sooner you can lock in on it. And you never know where that information's coming from, right? Like, I mean, we just had an amazing talk 25 minutes ago, right? Maybe something hit you on that talk. Maybe it was Friday's talk. Maybe it was the London session the other night. You know, you just never know where the gems are going to come that you are going to use to level up. So the clubhouse is great to just, you know, be a part of the team more than just a YouTube live stream. And the clubhouse is exactly that. It's a clubhouse. So you don't have to be there all the time. It's like, you ever have a clubhouse when you're a little kid? You just like, let me go pull up, see what's going on, see what they're talking about, see what they're doing. That's the clubhouse. You know what I mean? It's not something that is mandatory to be at every session, but the door is open, you know, and there's typically always people hanging out. Yeah, 970K, my bad. Mine's 970. What up, Dan? Oh, we got packrunner here. What if it breaks on the upside? We all have also some nice range to the upside. Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at this 4-hour candle. So, yeah, I mean, once this 4-hour candle closes in about 50 minutes, I would be much more open to the buys, especially if we can close strong bullish. But if not, you know, this could still act as like a 4-hour celery type of deal, right? Where you get the next candle. If this candle closes weak, you get that next candle to break the lows, you know, you can see a bit of a push down, right, into like 34.14-ish. So that's kind of like the mission. My goal here for the day is to see if price will move down into like 34.10, 34.15, somewhere in that range, and have this daily candle close bearish today. All right, that's kind of like what I'm foreseeing. So we'll see. It doesn't seem like we can get up, right? So we're bearish. We've been knocking the door to the upside. We even got a fake out, but we still haven't been able to close below. So that's the hold up here. Is trailing daily loss limit a disadvantage? If you're going to hold trades like for longer periods of time, that's why I was telling you guys, like when it comes to top one futures, like what I would watch, this kid did a bunch of really good videos. I forget what his YouTube name was, but I'll find it. But yeah, basically they have 3 accounts. So I personally use these ones right here, which is the instant sim funded. But you know, I've also stacked up many green days, green weeks, green months, green years, and all that. So like it's worth it for me to buckle down, pay a little bit more, invest a little more, and get straight to the money. So if you're anything like that, like if you've had a couple consistently green weeks and you know you're having some green months now and getting the hang of all this, then I think this would be a worthy investment for you, because you just skip the challenge and you go straight to the money. If you're still new, right, and you're still kind of trying to learn the system and learn your discipline and your edge here, then I would definitely go with like the one-step elite. It's going to be a lot, you know, cheaper, more cost efficient. And plus, this is a challenge account too, so you get, you know, an opportunity to kind of fail forward a little bit, right, and learn the game. And then this one here is, I would say, more so for people who have really good edge and they're in and out of the markets quick, because this one does have the trailing drawdown, like the daily one that you're talking about, this intraday one here. So that's the only difference. So the rules are going to be a little harder on this account. The price is going to be a little cheaper, and you know, you're going to have that intraday drawdown. So you know, that's pretty much the lay of the land of those 3 accounts, and kind of the levels in which I would recommend depending on where you are in your trading. Yeah, see the 4-hour really trying to come down here.
Yep. See that?
Yeah, nice 30 closure, 1-hour closure would be awesome here. The link for the clubhouse?
You like
just put exclamation point clubhouse and it'll pop up for you. Do I like what?
You like the 30 range better than the 15?
Yeah, I know we got that
some
support
15
there.
supports.
Yeah, so
I know those wick rejections too on the 30-minute.
Let's move that real quick and let's just keep it there for now. So come 9:30, I will disregard that support if the price action looks good. If it doesn't look good, then I'll keep that support. But yeah, right now we'll kind of just move it and put it there, and we'll see where we are if a playbook setup shows up here around 9:15, which is coming up now. So it's not going to happen here, but maybe 9:30. Golden time, the golden volume times? Absolutely. So volume, and by the way, so the reason that we have 4 sessions in the clubhouse is because we cover all the volume times for the most part. Price can still move about like outside of these times, but you know, the reason that we stream when we stream is basically because we want to stream the volume, right? So Asian session, that's going to be from 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. That's when you're going to find the most volume in the Asian sesh, anywhere between there. London is going to be 1:30 a.m. Eastern a.m. to about 4 a.m., right? And then you're going to get a nice pre-New York, so PNY, pre-NY, right? And that's going to typically run from like 6 to like 7, 7:30, give or take, depending on like if volume came in London or not. And then you got the New York session, which we're currently in right now, which the highest times of volume is clearly between 8 and 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. I'm sorry. So ideally 9:30 a.m. is probably the best time to trade gold in the New York session. So I would say those are the big volume times, right? You got pre-Asian and Asian Open, or Asian whatever. You got pre-London, London Open, pre-New York, and then the NY Open there. So yeah, and that's for gold. If you're trading NQ, then I would say, this can extend into like literally like to like from like 8 to like 3 p.m. Yeah.
So typically NQ will have the most volume in the first hour and the last hour of the market open and close.
Yeah. So NQ will just get started around 10 a.m. That's when it starts heating up.
Yep.
But yeah, you can just take a picture of that. And by the way, we're live. We're live for all these sessions in the clubhouse. So these are the exact times we go live in the clubhouse, all Eastern Standard Times, and that's typically where the bulk of the volume tends to come in. Just deposit 1 to 200 to trade GJ. Yo, I might trade GJ. Holy.
You got to now, Nick.
Imagine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We might have to do a little GJ.
Why not?
We are trading London session again.
Yeah, bro. Exactly.
Does war affect the market? Yeah, definitely. Super choppy on gold. Yeah, Monday morning here. Yeah. Just a chop fest.
I'm cool with not participating on gold right now.
Same. TK, how we feeling, brother? I was telling these guys about the 88% retention rate in the clubhouse. It's just mind blowing.
TK, what up, TK?
Oh,
yo, TK, I'll be seeing you soon, bro. Can't wait.
Which platform is it on, Raja's broker? It's Trade Locker. Oh snap! What do we got going on here?
Oh, bigger the bigger the range, the bigger the break.
Big push coming 9:30 maybe.
Good, bro. Let's get out of that chop.
Maybe.
100 pip push real quick.
Struggling with risk management per trade. Can you explain to us a little deeper what we can do? Yeah, I like to take into consideration all the factors, everything that's going on. Like today, for instance, it's a Monday. We're ranging. We're probably, trying to get a breakout. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. So even though we got all this clean range to the left, it's been quite shaky here today on this lovely Monday, right? There's no news. There's not much volume that we see. So even though everything looks good, I'll factor those little things in. And sometimes as a new trader, you don't understand exactly what to factor in because you just haven't had the experience yet. But those are things I would factor into today's trade, that even though it looks clean, we're going to get a breakout, I'll still size down. Because I know it's Monday, I know it's choppy, I know we got heavy news coming in tomorrow and Wednesday, right? The Fed is probably holding things up a little bit, trying to fake out, do things like that, grab liquidity for the press conference, right, on Wednesday. So considering those factors, I would size down today, right? Notice how I sized down. Remember when I told you guys I'm sizing down the first week of June, and then I will be increasing size the second week of June? Well, look, first week, decrease size, right? Literally 600, 100, 900, 400. Second week, increase size, 2,700, 800, 1,500, 1,500. You see how it increased like that? Because I know when to size down and when to size up, you know, based off of my experience and, you know, things that are going on and taking place in the markets.
It's great, bro.
When am I going to resume weekly and monthly breakdowns on my trades? This month. I was just saying that in the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, we were talking about that too, Nick.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday too.
Yep. Quick push up, quick push down, quick push up.
Hey, by the way, whoever won, so we had a bunch of winners on Friday who won 50K evaluation accounts. Those accounts are on the way to you guys. Yeah, so I guess they couldn't get them over to you over the weekend for some reason, but they're on the way. They're all getting submitted right now. You the man. Cam the man, baby. Yeah, they just messaged me, so we good. Yeah, April. We're gonna do April, May. So we're gonna do April and May. I'm probably just gonna obviously not gonna bore you guys with every single trade, but I'm gonna pick some highlighted trades, and we're gonna go over them. Yeah, definitely we'll talk about all the losses. We'll talk about a couple winners or whatever, but yeah, the main lessons are typically in the losses. But yeah, we'll do like a April, May kind of thing, and then we'll keep it moving in June here. But it's been a great month. It's been a great year so far, and we're just looking to continue that momentum. You know, this is I've been trading now since 2019. Been trading this strategy pretty much since 2020. So it's almost been like 5 to 6 years now of just being very disciplined in the same ways of trading almost every day. So it's no surprise that, you know, the days I once hoped for and wished for are here today. I kind of breezed by that, like as if that's not like holy crap, right? I mean, at one point these were all red. John, you remember, right? Like at one point I couldn't win a day if I tried to, right? I just couldn't figure this thing out. So like, by the way, and this goes for everyone here, man, remember the way to receive more is to be grateful for what you already have. And sometimes, like, again, 5 years in, just doing the same thing, I can kind of skip through these results as if it's like nothing, right? But you know, sometimes you gotta really think about how far you've come, and you know how at one point what you have now is something you just wished for, you just hoped for back in the day. And yeah, so keep marching forward. Again, success happens over many nights, right? Not over just one or two, but over many.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
I mean, at one point I couldn't. It was just crazy. It was crazy. One day I hit a golf ball backwards. C. Melly was there for that. John was there for that. And it was almost like that's what I was doing with my trading accounts. It's like I was hitting them backwards. like I couldn't get the ball up in the air forward if I tried my hardest. But again, a lot of that was due to emotional trading, revenge trading, a lot of it for me was over trading. I would size up big time on these trades, and I would go into a little bit of drawdown and get scared and close right away. Meanwhile, the trade would win, right? And it's like, oh my God, like if I would have just sized down, I would have not lost 1,000 and maybe won like 300. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of times we need to learn and grow and become more mature.
Yeah, man. I remember watching Nick like in live action start to overtrade and stuff. And it's like you got to that point where it's like you didn't even care. Like you knew that you were overtrading, but you didn't care because you just wanted to make the money back. I feel like a lot of people get stuck in that too.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. Exactly. Yeah, you got to earn it. Like I was saying on Friday, you know, one of the things I most admired about Don and Raja was the fact that they did not get into the market unless it truly lined up with what they had drawn out and what they had already kind of visualized. And me, I'll just get in the market. I would have been in 3 trades. This candle here, I would have been in like 3 or 4 trades already.
Yeah.
All within that one candle. And their ability to sit there and do nothing inspired the daylights out of me. Like, I could not sit still. Like, I just couldn't do it. And that was the biggest thing I admired out of both of them too, was the fact that they would not deviate from the plan ever. So and then I read the forex mindset, and he talked about those were the major attributes of a successful trader. And I said, boom, you know, I'm in the right spot. I'm learning from the right people. Let me just start trading the way they're trading. Wish I recorded myself back then. I actually did, man. I've got a lot of footage. Believe it or not, I've got a lot of footage that, you know, I got to go through and put out there. Yeah, I like that, Rashid. Fire. Just respect the schmear, you know? Buy war stocks and hold. There you go. I joined the clubhouse today. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome. Any questions that you got, don't hesitate to ask. Use us to get rich. I don't care. Use me. You know, when people are like, that guy, all he did was use me to become successful. Exactly. It's called a mentee. Use me, brother. Ask me any questions that you have. Get your questions answered before the sessions end. Go through the live streams. Go through the webinars. Go through the courses. You are almost guaranteed success if you do the work, brother. Not gonna lie, if what I've drawn up doesn't show up, I'm not even phased anymore. Exactly, bro. Now you're onto something, brother. Those are signs, you know, like a beard, like a mustache is a sign of a boy turning to a man. His voice deepens a little bit, right? Like what I just heard from Isam, those are signs of a boy turning into a man, honestly, right? Or a, you know, undisciplined trader turning into a disciplined trader, right? So these are the things you want to pick up on and know that you're progressing. TTTV coming. We're going to be on national TV one day.
It's low-key already here.
I'll be honest, I don't think they let me on national TV. We're just exposing the matrix too much. We're creating too many glitches that are creating the ultimate money glitch, the ultimate life glitch here. They don't want me talking, trust me.
Definitely not, bro. You're the type they take down.
I joined last year for the first time, never left. Damn. Let's go, Zyper.
Oh. Sorry, Zyper.
I'll complete 1 year. W energy. That's amazing.
Energy's a beast.
That's amazing. I was one of the first members in the clubby. Yeah. All my 111 people. You guys are amazing.
Stand up.
Oh, man. Oh, man. The next 111s that come in are all getting free accounts, by the way. Yeah, I'll send them as they come in. Those are the real ones.
Shout out my day ones.
How do you properly pay yourself out? So yeah, so now it's different. So over here, I'm a private subcontractor. Over here, I got to start filing more so as capital gains. So it's a little bit different, but I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about and how to explain that. So I probably sound like an idiot here. So I would just say hire someone really good to do that type of stuff for you and to kind of guide you in that way. What's up, Jeremy? Jeremy Paul, young trader. Let's go. Congrats. Welcome to the Ultimate Money Glitch. Welcome to the revolution. If you stick around here, you will probably you'll probably, I don't know how old you are, but even if you mess this thing up, if you're really young, you can be extremely successful within your 20s.
Facts.
I stay disciplined in my trading for a few days, but I break some rules after taking a non-stop loss. What should I do? You should congratulate yourself. So when you go a few days, right? So let's say you go a few days. So let's say you go 0 to 7. So you got 7 days, right? So let's say every 7 days you kind of fall off the horse and mess it all up, right? Here's what you got to do. On day 7, you got to celebrate. You got to throw a little party, even if it's just in your own head and your own mind. By the way, no one's going to join that party. It's just going to be you. No one's going to join your party at all, by the way, until you actually become successful, because until then, no one gives a rip about you outside of maybe a few of your special loved ones, right? So you got to party on your own, man. So you go through this. You have this awesome win streak. You celebrate this. You look back on it. You go, what did I do? What was I doing here, right, that I should be doing next, right? And then follow the plan, man. Getting good results is fun. Winning is fun. Making money is fun, right? So keep doing what's fun, right? Understand, hey, this is typically where I blow it. Let me stay on pace and do the same thing. All I need to do is 7 days. Just think of it like an alcoholic or an ex-drug addict or anything like that. 7 days at a time, brother. 7 days at a time. That's how I treat my trading. 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time, right? Am I able to be disciplined for a year? I'll be honest, probably not. But can I be disciplined for a day? You bet. Can I be disciplined for 365 days? You better believe I can, right? If I take it 1 day at a time. So how do you eat an elephant, my mentor would say. He would say 1 bite at a time. Inch by inch, anything's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard. So take it day by day, my G. Don't try and, become this incredible day trader, whiz kid, just 1 day at a time, brother.
Yep. Yeah, facts, bro.
By the way, I have a question for you guys. And the question is, over the weekend, what decisions, or I should say over the weekend, what did you say yes to that you should have said no to? I'm going to just leave y'all right there. Any trade right now? No. Nothing. Hey, Nick, today is the day I decide not to look at the 5-minute again. Let's go. W, brother. W. What did you say yes to this weekend that you should have said no to? And now we can begin progress. Now we can start to move in the right direction.
Damn.
What did you say yes to that you should have said no to? Whatever that is holding you back. So you conquer that, it's over.
Damn, those brownies, TK, they got you.
Brownies, bro.
Was it worth it? The cupcakes and brownies, guys, was it worth it, you think? Looking back now?
TK's like, hell yeah, it was worth it. That dude don't even gain weight, bro.
TK, you're understandable, bro. Eat as many brownies as you want. Damn.
I said yes to buy the new makeup kit. No, not the new makeup kit. What is putting in the work when it comes to trading? Great question. So I would say showing up every single day to your chart time. So what you have to do is you have to either link up with someone who already has this or create this yourself. I would recommend the first option, right? So the way you do anything and put in the work anyway in life is you find out first exactly what it is you want, right? What do you want? What do you want out of trading? What do you want your trading to look like? What's it going to be, right? Then the next step is you got to go find someone who has what you want, right? Who lives what you want, because they're the only people that can show you how to get it, right? Someone who doesn't have it can't show you how to get it. So when you ask your friend Brian what he thinks about you getting funded and making multiple six figures a year as a trader, and he tells you he doesn't think you can do that, of course he doesn't. He's an average, mediocre person who doesn't have what you want. So you got to go and find someone who has what you want, right? Because when you ask them that question, they have a completely different response, right? And then what you have to do is you have to shut up and do exactly what they tell you. Start doing exactly what they're teaching and preaching, right? And this could be a one-on-one mentorship. This could be a mentor from a distance, right? I've had one-on-one mentors. I've also had mentors that I've, caught off of YouTube or books and things like that. So you find out, you find out what you want. You find out who's got it. You be quiet and you listen to everything that person says. Don't think for yourself. The reason you're thinking, the reason you are where you are is because of your own thinking, right? So what makes you think that thinking can take you to the next level, right? So you need to find someone who's thinking higher, thinking better, thinking bigger, right? So that can rub off on you. And then you just go to work every day. So show up consistently. In this case, what could a trader do, in my opinion, to become successful as they come into TTE? I would say show up to the live stream every day that you can for 2-3 months, right? And if you like what you see and you're still consistent and you haven't quit yet, that's where you should start looking into the clubhouse. Once you have more of a commitment, you join the clubhouse, and then you really start to get us to look at your trades. So you come in the clubhouse, you send your trades, you send your charts, you get your questions answered, you show up to the live streams, you go through the course, you go through the webinars, and like I said, at that point, you give yourself 6 months, 8 months. Time is your edge at that point, right? Because now you're downloading new information, understanding new knowledge, new insights on the market, and now you're able to actually come to grips and start to consistently find success. But if you try and do this thing out there on your own, it's a very big ocean, and there's a lot of sharks, and it gets a lot of lonely out there when it gets very lonely out there when it's just you and your canoe. Right? So it's best to be on a big ship where everyone is all kind of pushing in the right direction, heading to the same destination. So that way you can jump aboard that ship, understand how we're doing it, and, be able to follow suit.
Yeah, bro. That's like the first step to get into trading. Like, find a mentor, find someone who's already profitable and learn from them, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get you to see what you haven't been seeing. That's true. Yeah, your mentor or someone that can act as a mentor will point out your blind spots, all that stuff. I thank God for mentorship. I would not be here to help you if I didn't have help myself. You know what I mean? So I seek mentorship in all areas. I mean, I just spent a good amount of money on mentorship recently, and I've always been willing to invest into mentorship. It's always paid me back more than I've, put in.
Yeah.
Can we have one webinar? By the way, we're gonna do a webinar on YouTube soon. I think we're gonna do it in July, but I'm gonna put together a really in-depth webinar that I would just want to share for free. You know what I mean? Just so we could do it on YouTube, and it'll be like a weekend, a Saturday type of thing, and it'll be probably a one-day webinar, but it'll be absolutely golden. So we're gonna bring that to YouTube pretty soon, sometime next month. Yeah, give me a little bit, maybe mid-July or early August, and we'll do like a really big webinar where we kind of just catch up and tighten everything up that we've kind of discovered over the last year or so. Am I a priest? No way. Absolutely not.
You're a G. Not a priest.
Can we touch on realistic expectations from trading? I heard John one day say sometimes being overwhelmed trades ruins potential. I mean, yeah, there's a reel coming out. Somebody did a really good clip of me the other day. We were saying something. And it's like trading is a business that will bring out every emotion in you, especially if you get to where you actually become successful. You will have highs, you will have lows, you will learn so much about yourself. And I always encourage people to go after trading, because not necessarily like what they will get from it, but who they'll actually become through it, especially if they follow through on this mission and they actually hit, success with it. It will bring out the best in you. Like, it will challenge you in all areas. It will have you revert back to old habits that you thought were done, right? Old gambling habits, old greedy mindset habits. It will bring all that stuff back, and it's your job and your work to disregard it, to keep it out of the way, to stay locked in, to build yourself stronger. It's an amazing journey. But the expectations, a lot of people's expectations are, oh, I can get rich and do this really quick. And I'm here to tell you that you can't, right? You can't do that, especially if you're going to come into it that mindset, right? Now, you can do that if you come in it with a professional mindset, or at least develop this mindset at some point in your trading, where you start treating it like a business, like a profession, like a job. As serious as you trade at your job, you treat this with that much seriousness in it, and it will begin to pay you very well. But that doesn't remove the learning curve and the months or even years that it takes to kind of bring you up and down and back and forth, and overall shape you into a much better person.
Yeah, man. I feel like a realistic expectation in trading is progress. Like, you can make progress if you do the right things. Like, that's definitely guaranteed.
Yeah. I like your videos on red days. Appreciate that. Yeah, we got more car talks coming out. Struggling to take 1 to 2 trades a day. Any advice? Lockout. 3, 2, 1, lockout. Hit that lockout button after your second trade, and then you never have to think about it again.
No trading rules ever matter if you're not going to be disciplined to them, right? It all goes back to being disciplined to your trading rules. Like, your trading rule will only be good and efficient for you if you follow it. If you're disciplined to it. If you're not going to be disciplined to it, then the rule doesn't mean anything. But when you are disciplined to the rule, then the rule means something, So I think it goes back to being disciplined.
It's like that little thing that you ever shut your app down on your phone? Like, all right, after 20 minutes of using this application, it's going to shut off and I'm never going to be able to use it again. That's the rule. But how many of you guys were like, disregard, and you just open Instagram anyway? Who's ever done that? I've done that. You're like, what? Social media is taking up too much of my life. I'm going to make a stand here. I'm shutting down these apps after 2 hours. And all of a sudden, like, the little notification pops up that you can't use it anymore. You're like, nah, get out of the way. Get out of the way. And you could just use it. So that's what I mean. You got to be willing as an entrepreneur and as a grown human being to hold yourself accountable, right? And to stick to what you said what you were going to do. Even when no one's watching. Actually, it's more important when no one's watching.
Yeah. And it's like, you got to remember why that rule is there in the first place, right? Like you said, you're struggling to take 1 to 2 trades a day. It's probably because you want to make money back, right? And that you got to remember why the rule is there. The purpose of the rule is to protect you from you, to protect you from that time you're trying to go, on tilt, So right then and there, when you feel like you're struggling to follow it, or where you don't feel like following it, is the moment you need to follow it, the most. And that's the purpose of the rule being there in the first place. Yeah, always important to remember the purpose of what we're doing and why we're doing certain things. It gives us logic and a clear mind on why we're doing something.
Yeah, so we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do a webinar. 1 Peter 2:9. All right, I guess I am a little bit of a priest. Let's see. That's what I do. 3, 2, 1 lockout. Yep, that's it. Goldie. Here comes the move. 4-hour rip in here. So we grabbed the pack. This 4-hour took forever. Look at that. Look at all that consolidation in here.
Yeah, man. 15-minute might bleed. $9.45 coming up.
Yeah, let's take a look at the NASDAQ here too. A bunch of chop here on the daily. It's getting tough on the daily right now. So we did close bear. We're pushing on up though, starting to cruise up. 4 hours obviously moving bullish here. So we're coming into that range. We haven't really closed above it yet, nor do we have much of a bottom wick on the candle here. So we are closing up in about 16 minutes on this 4 hour candle. We'll see how that goes. 1 hour has been moving up. Let's see that resistance there. Never closed above. This guy closed with no top wick. Next candle closed doji, and then this is your 9 a.m. 9:30 volatile candle. So we'll see how that closes. 30 minutes trying to create a support here. Issue is we get very choppy here. So I would say we're decently clean up until about, this range is up here, but then you got this minor resistance here that if you look left, we have rejected, right? So we rejected that one there. So we got to see about these buys here coming in. The 4 hour is going to close up here in just a moment. So I would say we wait for the 4 hour closure, make sure it closes above, make sure the 1 hour closes above. And then if there's still enough room, right, then we could trade the rest of this range. If not, then we got to wait for better market structure. Goldie.
Goldie.
Can we have a webinar dedicated to testing and how it's done? Yes. Have we done one of those yet? I don't know if we've done one of those yet.
Testing what?
Like how to, are you like kind of talking about how to sample size, like how to test the strategy and things like that?
Yeah, we haven't touched on that, no.
Day twos are lit. Shout out to all the day twos. Any advice? I forgot what we were talking about, Norbin. Were we talking about like accounting and stuff like that there?
Yeah, you guys were.
Pulled up and the drawing looked crazy. Oh snap! What drawing were we doing?
The drawings can get crazy if you pull up randomly during a drawing time. You won't know what happened over here.
I blew 2 accounts last week and I started to treat it like Nick's watching and the other one like John's watching. That's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Sometimes you have to trick the brain, man. You truly have to trick the mind. Again, you guys know my story. I could not hold it together for the life of me. So I had to pretend that I was working for like a hedge fund or something. Like I just played tricks with my own mind. That was really all I did in order to get this thing together. So yeah, W. Yeah, self-regulation. Self-regulation. The ability to regulate self. It's a beautiful thing. What up, Paul? Paul's cool. I like that name, actually. Yeah, I was trying to put that together. Paul's cool. I dig it, man. I dig it. Explain more hedge funds. Yeah, like when I was coming up in the game, I played a game. I played a trick on my mind because every single day I would show up, I would overtrade, I would over risk, I would revenge trade, I'd blow accounts, I'd make pretty much stupid decisions in the market. So what I did was I started to learn about like S&B Capital and some of these other firms or whatever that are out there. So I've had this ability to do this for a very long time, even in my prior businesses. I have the ability to use my imagination very well. I've always been that way. And I would just use my imagination. So every single day when I wake up, I would prepare as if I was going to work, working for a hedge fund. And they were going to assign me a guy named Raja Banks to be my senior trader. And because it was COVID, we had to all work from home and everything was online. So I made up this big story in my own mind, right, about how I worked for this company, and that back then I was using a challenge account with like FTMO or one of them companies, and I would say, hey, look, they're interested in me. they've seen enough in me from my prior trading results. By the way, that never happened, right? It's just something I made up in my mind. They're interested in me. And if I can just pass through this little challenge, they will hire me and they'll give me $100,000 to trade with. All I got to do is prove my worth. So what I started doing every single day is I showed up as if that was true. And I would put a button up on, I would put slacks on, I would get to my little crappy desk back in this little crappy basement I used to live in, right? And I would set it up as if I was a multi-millionaire trader, you know, applying for a prop firm and, you know, watching Raja, learning from Raja, watching Don, these guys, taking it as if they were like my teachers, like they were the traders that the firm allowed me to use to learn, right? Because that's what happens at these firms. And that was it, you know what I mean? I just hacked the mind, you know, every single day, and eventually look back and I was disciplined pretty much. Where's Magnus? I don't know. Where's Magnus?
Magnus check.
Magnus, how you doing? Where's the pasta? Where's the pasta? Which platform am I using for the live account? I'm using Trade Locker.
It took days of discipline to build discipline.
It did. Yeah, if you guys want to set up an account with Tora, just use the link that I just sent you in the chat, and you can set up accounts with them. But yeah, that's where I'm trading the live capital now. So
that 15 salary.
I like Trade Locker too. I've always liked Trade Locker, especially when they first came out. I always liked them over MT5 or MT4 or any of them. Appreciate your realness, of course, brother, of course. It's funny, right? It's funny, but it worked. You know, it's winners have this ability of, you know, just playing with life. You feel me? Life is a video game, and the winners just have this ability to march to the beat of their own drum, you know, and that's what I do. Yes, put yourself in position of success before you attain it, because gang, you never get success. You never get it. You align with it. Listen to me. This has been the biggest enlightenment, the biggest lesson I've learned over the past 5 years, 6, 7 years, is that you do not go get success. You align yourself with it. Your internal environment is all it is basically everything you got going on here is a reflection of what you got going on out here. So your external environment is a reflection of your internal environment. So unless you align with things, gang, right now I was in my garage sitting on the couch. I was looking at my Porsche GT3. But you may say, well, it's not there yet. Not there for you. It's there for me. I can see it clear as day. I can see it. I can see the tail end of that thing. Look at the wing on that thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can see it. So can you see yourself being successful, right, before you are? And then can you act like that? And that's why a lot of times I chant, we're 8-figure traders. Because you don't just fall yourself into becoming an 8-figure trader. You plan on it, right? Success doesn't happen on accident. It happens on purpose, right? Because the successful person plans to be successful before they become successful, right? So that's where it all lies, right? Can you plan? Can you work? And can you get there? And can you truly align with it in your mind before you ever see it in the real life? You know, I understand that everything happens first in the spiritual realm before it ever manifests into the physical realm. Yeah. And I've watched that happen now. And there was a point in time where maybe some of you guys are at where I used to be at, where it's like, he's talking about figuring out in your mind and doing that, blah, 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 blah. That stuff can't work. Gang, this is the secret. All right. We were made by God, right? And so basically think about this. We are the mechanism, right? We are let's call it the action figure that God made. The issue is we don't know how to use everything we've been made with, right? Because the elites and the powers that be have told us that this is who we are and how we act, right? Yet we are missing out on what we're actually designed to do, right? It's like getting into a Ferrari and never taking it out of first gear. Not because we don't know that there's more gears, we don't know how to do it, right? Because the world has only told us we're a one gear car, right? So if the world always told you that, then you'll never go and shift those gears. But it's not until you come around this live stream, or you get around Neville, or you listen to the words of Jesus, or any of these incredible, masters or philosophers or whatever, that you begin to realize, holy crap, I'm more than they told me I am. I can be more, I can do more, right? We're God's highest form of creation. We're not meant to sit here and doom scroll and watch TV series at night, you know what I mean? We could probably pick things up with our mind and throw them across the room for all we know. Right? So you got to tap into your full potential. So it's like, how did God actually make you? Right? How did he actually make you? And what do you actually have access to that you're not using right now? And a lot of us are not using anywhere near what we have access to.
Gold leader, bro.
Later.
Damn.
All right, we'll take this. We'll take it.
Holy, that flower, man, beautiful. Very well done.
Yeah. Torah is not new. It's just new to me. Yeah. So they've had it out for a couple months, I think now. What a move. What did the 15 close? No, 15 closed above there. So yeah, it's not my move. No closure on the 30, no closure on the 1 hour here.
The bigger the range, the bigger the break. Snap.
Traders. Last 5-minute push. Little push on Goldie.
Flowers coming into a target.
Yeah. Whole range. Wow, whole range filled. There you go, Louis. Yeah, YOLO Trader W. Yeah, once you start doing the work on yourself, that's where you develop worth, confidence, everything. Everything. A lot of people don't feel worthy of it because they just haven't done the work yet. So the work instills the worth. White chocolate cappuccino on a Saturday morning on the balcony. I like that. He got the degrees down, everything. R8, got the cars. My mentor, when he first met with me, he said, Nick, I'll work with you, but not unless you know what you want. So what do you mean by that? He said, I need you to know exactly what you want, so that way I can help you get it. Otherwise, you're going to waste my time. I said, damn. So he said, I want you to describe, write it out in detail, what your perfect day would look like. If you could have the most perfect day, write it out in detail, the weather, the wind, the smell, everything. And we did that exercise, and I wrote down my perfect day, and we got to work. But I would encourage you guys to do that too. Write down your perfect day in as much detail as possible. And that's the life that you truly want to live. And then you got to say, hey, can this vehicle get me there trading? Can my job get me there? Can trading get me there? Look at your options, you know what I mean? And then focus on, the things that are going to push you towards that dream lifestyle. Something I have learned from you is your trades are around the same time. Yeah, they are. They're typically around the same time within the hour, or around the same time every day. So my trades are typically like 1:30 a.m. or I should say, 1:30 a.m., 3:30 a.m., 8:15 a.m., 9:30 a.m., or 9 p.m. Those are basically the bulk of my trades. Welcome to the trading world. How does it feel now being successful in trading? Does it feel the same when you trade, or maybe just more happiness? I mean, it's nice to be consistently profitable. I'm not gonna lie, that is amazing. That was my big goal. That was what I was after, and it's incredible to have that, right? But other than that, it's just business as usual. You know what I mean? Same same stuff, different day. This is my job. You know, my job is to come here, look for good trades in the market. I don't like to put this in the hobby category, because then I could easily start to cross that line. So I'm very strict and militant in my approach, and every day there's not a lot of hype, there's not a lot of up, down. It's just a very composed focus, you know. Yeah, it's a very focused, composed, rinse and repeat type of mentality. I never jump up and down, you know, when I win my trades. After I turn the live stream off and you guys are gone, then I'm like, woohoo, yeah, let's go. No, I'm just kidding. Every now and then, every now and then, oh crap, I forgot to turn the stream off. Whoops. Nah. You know, it's awesome to celebrate great weeks and great months and whatnot, you know. But mainly on the day to day, you know, I'm just very, very stone cold.
Think we celebrate, bro?
When y'all aren't around, I'm like, yeehaw, let's go.
We'll celebrate
another
a good
winning
quarter
trade.
or so.
Yeah, we'll go to the steakhouse and celebrate.
We celebrate life, man, in general, just living life, bro.
R.I.P. headphone users. I had to wake some of y'all up, man.
Someone was definitely snoozing right now with their AirPods in.
That's a good. All right, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. You guys fix your ears. I'll be right back.
Lower your phone a little bit, maybe not.
Fix your ears and get ready for more.
Yeah. Yeah, nice push down here, breaking out of the range. Yeah, we spend London and pre-NY in New York just in a range, and then we break out of the range here at 9:30. Yeah, I wanted those sells. If the 15-minute would have closed below support at 34.27, I would have gave it a shot for the sells, but we did not close below. We closed above, so. New 15-minute, new 30-minute, and 1 hour candles all opening up here, and 4 hour too. Yeah, so that 4 hour, just like we anticipated in the beginning of the session, coming right back down and tapping those supports there at 34.01. So very nice anticipation there. Nothing though. Nothing for me. Yo, J Coop, you went to the restroom, you come back, boom, 100 pip bleeder. You never know with Goldie. Damn, Wayne, that's funny. Yeah, Crazy B, why should we expect the market to care about our support? It's just because like history will repeat itself, you know. I mean, of course, anything could happen in the markets, but yeah, we all know one of the rules of technical analysis is history likes to repeat itself, right? So if there's a support to the left-hand side, you may see a support being formed again, you know, currently. Or if there's clean range to the left-hand side, we may see clean range, you know, perform itself currently. So, you know, anything could happen again, but yeah, it's just all about probabilities, right? So you look left and you can increase your probabilities of predicting price based on the left-hand side. So yeah, that's it, you know. You know, during times of high volume and stuff, you know, maybe you can take these impulse trades and stuff, but yeah, the more conservative play is waiting for those proper closures, proper setups, etc.
John got silly hair? What do you mean?
Say
John,
that.
the kids say you got silly hair, bro.
Do I?
God
I
bless
do.
you. God bless you.
Dad,
Yes.
where's John's room?
I don't know.
What's here? I mean, that's his room. He's waiting.
There he is. What I consider impulse entries, yeah. So I do take impulse entries, but they have to be on like inverted celeries or things like that. So I have my own style of taking the impulse entries. I don't think I'd ever take impulse entries anymore on like these breakouts, like on the break of that low or anything. They're just too risky. Those are usually like the 50-50 ones. The ones that I take like on the inverted celeries or something like that are typically the ones with the higher win rates. Hey. Yeah,
That's like the only one we take, the inverted celery.
it is.
Yeah, those are the purple glasses.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah, I didn't want to take an impulse entry like breaking out of the range, you know, without that inverted celery.
So let's say something like this happened to where like price popped up and it stayed below the range, right? Something like this, and then you had this candle here, right? I would take an impulse entry on the break of that low, right? So we haven't had a bearish closure yet, but I would still take the impulse entry on the break of that low because that would just line up with the 4-hour, right? To continue driving down. Or let's say like we wanted to take buys, then what I would do is,
That's a cool color.
let's say that this candle closed here like this. Again, we still haven't got that bullish candle yet, but I would still take an impulse entry on the break of that high right there for price to continue moving up. The only thing I wouldn't be open to when it comes to impulse entries are these ones here, where people will take entries like, let's say on the break of that low, or even like what they'll do is, you see the low over here, they'll take it on the break of this low. I don't like doing those. Those tend to come back in the range more often than not. So mine has to be lined up with structure, and then if that's the case, then I'll take the impulse trades. What are you doing over there?
Sir,
He knows he's
Yeah, we talked-
over there.
you can learn more about the impulse trades on the course as well. Yo, Magnus, what's up, my man? Thank you, bro.
Magnus, how you doing?
I don't know, man. Lele said my hair wasn't fired.
How do I do Magnus's voice better than Magnus? How you doing? Okay,
Right.
let's roll. Say goodbye. Say see you later, Uncle John.
Bro,
See you later, Uncle John.
All right, later.
bye, Lele.
You want to say see you
Bro.
later? Whatever?
I be saying how you doing like Magnus too. No, it's like
Say bye.
now we say how you doing like
Bye-bye.
Magnus now. You don't even say like Little Mo anymore.
Bye bye in the microphone. Say bye bye.
Yo, what's good, Rafi? Rafi in the house. What's up, brother? Yeah, we're let's see. Now we got that for Magnus too.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Started saying how you doing like Little Mo, ended up saying how you doing like Magnus now.
Say bye, John.
Bye, Dad.
Bye bye. See you later.
Bye.
That's a Magnus. Okay, come on, let's roll.
Maverick. Maverick's a G. Talking and stuff now.
You're messing up my gold board, okay? See, you're erasing some things.
As you could tell, Chad, Nick's got his hands pretty full. Yeah, beautiful kids. Yeah, facts. What's up, Miko? What up, man? Yeah, bro, one in life. Yeah, facts, man. My man's chilling, bro. He's got multiple streams of income with 0 caps. He's got 3 beautiful children. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got a beautiful home, beautiful car. He's got God. Yeah, man. Bro's winning. Nick inspires me. I want to live exactly like him. He's got 2 brothers. What's up, Louis G? Yo, what's up, Sandman? What up, my man? What up, Yanosh, my man? Yep, that's true. He's got Johnny Gems as his brother. Yep.
That's right.
Hey, yo, I'm grateful to be this man's science project, chat.
Guess what? I wrote the story before it ever happened.
Yeah, it's true.
Look at it. And we're still writing to this day.
Nah, that's facts, bro.
It's all been written.
Take a look at Nick's journal.
Lifestyle by design, my friends. Lifestyle by design.
Shout out Nick for putting me on with the journaling, man, because it does create your life for real.
Whenever I try making money, I lose it. That's because I told you, you can't make money. The only people that make money are the mint. You have to align with it. Money's energy. Money is...
You must earn money.
So discipline and doing the right habits and the right steps is all frequency, right? It's what you frequently see. So whatever you see in your mind and you do, you work towards, right? So therefore, energy, money is just energy manifested in physical form based off of the frequency and energy that you've put out. See, most people have no idea. Most people have no clue what the language of money, right? The language of money is the wealthy people's language. All right, money is energy. Poor people think there's a limited amount of money, yet they couldn't be further from the truth, right? Money is energy. You align with money by getting your frequency and your energy correct in terms of what you think, what you say, and what you do, right? And then that all of that lines up and manifests more energy in terms of money is what we call it, right? We just call it money, currency, whatever you want to call it. So it's about aligning with it, bro. It's not about trying to get it. Anytime you try and chase something, it runs away from you, right? So we don't want to chase money. We want to welcome it. We want to receive it. We want to align with it. We want to get, in the same state of it.
How do you attract someone? You become someone who's attractive.
Yeah. 15 closure below. I don't think I had a 15 closure below.
Nah,
No,
I didn't.
Support right here.
Below.
Nothing. Yeah, I'll close above for me. So if that would have
You-
closed below, I would have 100% been in that sell. Or if this 30-minute would have closed below, I mean, that was the sell I wanted. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the sell I was trying to take advantage of here. All right, on this trade, but we got caught up there, right? So I'm glad I closed my trade there, but I was looking for that continued move down. I mean, I've been bearish the whole day here, just waiting on that closure.
Do you like buys off support now with 4-hour tap and target?
No, not really, to be honest. I think
Wow.
I'd rather wait for a pullback or a range 2 buy. So basically,
Really?
like, let's say we get a bearish closure here now, right? And then you get a new bullish closure above that resistance. I think that'll be the better buy. Boom, because now you'll have consolidation here on the lower time frame and then a breakout. And then that'll be like your range 2 breakout versus taking a buy right here. Because if you take a buy right off of this new support that potentially forms, it may not go as planned, right? It might pop up and then kind of close back like this. And then there you go, that wick fill.
Yeah. The only reason I even said buys was because of the 4-hour tap target.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I dig it.
Yeah.
Watch kids if you want to. Yeah, I love watching. I love observing my children, man. You can learn a lot from these kids. Jem's going to Dubai. Yo, by the way, the meetup, July 5th and 6th, TTE Trader Tampa meetup, whatever you want to call it. We got people flying in from Dubai, Germany, California, all multiple different countries, multiple different states. This is about to be epic. Straight epic. I do look forward to this meetup. I think there's like 60 people already confirmed that they're pulling up. It's going to be awesome.
Where you can go.
Absolutely epic.
This is gonna be the biggest one yet, bro. Biggest meetup yet.
Yeah. Best book I ever read outside of the Bible is probably The Magic of Thinking Big. That really built my belief level. Growing up, I was a part of an average, mediocre family that loved me and did the best that they possibly could for me. But, you know what I mean? They were limited to their way of thinking. Not their income, their way of thinking. Their income was limited due to their way of thinking, right? So The Magic of Thinking Big made me realize that success isn't meant for the few. It is, but it's not only for them, right? Anyone can be successful. Now, again, only the few will be successful, but everyone's got a shot. And I started reading about these guys that had 4th grade education levels and went on and became the mayor of the town, or the big business owner in the town and things like that. And I realized that success wasn't about smarts and things like that. It wasn't about education, like schooling education and where you come from. Some people were born in abandoned buildings and went on and became some of the most successful people that you ever heard of. So I finally realized success was all about you. And if you could think big, you can go big, And from that point forward, I just started thinking much bigger, setting higher goals. And, that obviously pushed my work ethic to a higher standard because I just wanted more. I got tired of not living the life that I knew I deserved. And the magic of thinking big helped me really take my imagination and my belief to a whole nother level. Yeah. Magic of thinking big over outwitting the devil. Well, outwitting the devil is probably going to be the next one I would say. So I would read 2 books, Magic of Thinking Big and Outwitting the Devil, as soon as you possibly can. By the way, I'm thinking about writing my own book. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting together a book over the next year. I want to message. I have another Instagram that just has like my private, like friends and family and stuff. So I want to put a story out and just be like, yo, like all my day ones, like any memories you guys have of me, like just tell the story in this little thing or whatever, so that way I can start pulling a lot of stories from like my upbringing and stuff, and then transition it into when I started to become an entrepreneur and my network marketing days and my e-commerce days and trading and all that. So yeah. Does my plan involve looking left? Yes, I always look left to get right. So right here, I know I'm at support, so I don't want to take another sell. I know I'm very bearish. I don't want to take much of a buy. I just kind of want to wait for a little bit of a pullback, right? Something like this to give me a new resistance and then keep selling. No trade day? I mean, I took 1 trade today. Yeah, I made about $1,000 on this account, but that was about it. Haven't had anything since then. It's just been consolidating. Green about to go off? Yeah, yo. Green's got some stories. So, okay, look. So if you want to take this buy, that's okay. But let me tell you the reason I'm not, right? It's just because we're so bearish still, right? To where this can move up, break the highs. And I've seen this happen many times. And then it just starts coming back down, right? So it ends up breaking the highs. But then it ends up closing as a bit of a resistance level like this. Right? And then now the sellers step back in and continue the downtrend. So will that happen here? I don't know. Does it happen most times? Yeah.
And it's just like the target tab just doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't
like for
mean
the buys? Like it just
not
like it doesn't
not
like it
for me
doesn't mean
now.
to get aggressive.
Not for me. Probably not in this situation. No. Yeah, I think if we get a little resistance here and then a closure, because we're just so bare. Like, I mean, if let's say the daily was like actually bullish, not at all that resistance, then yeah, maybe I would say that, being that we didn't break the low and it might be a good opportunity. But with this daily being at resistance, I feel like this candle can close strong bearish today, re-break that 4-hour low and all that, and continue driving down. So unless we get like a range 2 buy, to where like you get something like this, then I probably won't take the buys here. So let's say you get this, all right, and then you do get that bearish candle, but all of a sudden it closes like something like that, and then let's say now we get a new bullish closure back above, then we can get rid of this area and say, okay, maybe we're going to start moving up back towards the highs here, and then take the buys to move back up. If not, I'd rather just wait on the seller. I mean the short.
Yeah, no, I'm with that too as well.
Becoming Supernatural by Joe. Oh, I never read that one. Yeah, I'll have to pick that one up. Oh, that's what's up, PF Trader. One of my goals right now is to get funded on a 200K. You could do it, man. You could do it. Just stay steady, right? Just don't deviate from the profitable trading plan, and you will have profit. I know that seems mind-blowing, but I don't think I could say it any more simpler than that. Like, you stick to the plan that actually makes money, and guess what will happen? You'll make money. Happy Father's Day. Yo, what up, Ant? Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Good to see you, my guy. Anthony Fernandez got stories too, man. We were hanging out in like high school. No, middle school. High school. High school, 9th grade, right? Yeah, 9th grade.
Yo, Anthony Fernandez is here?
Yeah.
Yo, my man, was popping, Anthony?
You gonna hang out? Yo, John's going to New York. Link up with him.
Hit me up, bro. Yeah, I'll be in New York this week.
Did I take the prop firm route when I first started? I did not, actually. So, like, prop firms weren't that big. The only one that was really out that I knew about was FTMO. So I guess Top Step was around back then, but I never knew about them. So I actually, in my beginning days, I just traded my own capital. Just traded my own personal capital, like $500 accounts, $1,000 accounts. I just kept, like, blowing and learning on and stuff like that. Yeah, and then eventually I did kind of catch on. I was like, okay, let me try out one of these prop firms, and that's when we started dabbling with FTMO, and then my forex funds came in there, and yeah, and then we kind of been messing with these ever since. One trading account, make it harder to manage emotions. Maybe. Just depends on, who you are. That's why I like having multiple accounts. But like right now, I have 3 accounts. They're hooked up to a copy trader here, and sometimes what I like to do is like take one off. Like these ones I'm copying, but it's nice to have one that's off of the copier, so that way you can, like, let's say you took a big win in London session, right? And then you could just kind of lock out of that account. Or let's say you took a big loss in London, now it's New York, you can lock out of that account and trade the other one. So I think it's nice. I think it's nice to have multiple accounts. I mean, I have multiple accounts, so I think it helps. If the current 4-hour tap support and you waiting break out on 15 and you know that the current 4 hours bearish, what do you mean by that? Yeah, so the reason I'm not taking these buys here is because regardless of whether or not the 4-hour closed as support, we still close strong bearish, right? Therefore, we could still come down, fill the wick, all that stuff, and attempt all that. So that's why I'm remaining bearish here. I'm not taking buys on this candle. If we do kind of close like bearish like this, and maybe even get one more out of it, now you got a range, right? So now it's going to be much easier to take your buys now if you get a closure above, because this now is a range 2 buy. You'll be re-breaking the 4-hour highs again, and therefore that should set the tone, right? But until that happens, I wouldn't execute on the buys yet, because you might be getting in right when the pullback's taking place. There are other scenarios in which I will do things like this, but I would rather see, so when the target taps, this is like, okay, that's that candle, right? And now this is this candle, right? So anytime I get into the target tapped concept ideas, I want to get in as low as possible. So usually what that will look like is when the target gets tapped, it'll look more so something like this, where you have price come down, tap target, leave a wick, which happened, right? That was perfect. But now what you want to see really is like this candle not go up that fast, right? Kind of like try and hang out down here a little bit, seeing if it can break the lows. And like, let's just say that the bullish candle closed like this. That's when I would definitely be open, right, to this target tapped idea and take the buy from here, from much lower, right? Because now we have enough room or enough range. Or let's say the bearish candle, you know, it closes bearish here, right? Now we have like this inverted celery. I would be open to taking the target tapped concept trade right here based off of the impulse move, right, on the break of the highs there, for price to push back up. But when price closes like this already, then I don't want to take that trade. All right, I want to take it from down here, impulsively, ideally, if I can. But I don't want to do it like this, where it just goes like that. And now, should I take a buy or not? I don't like that. I don't like that. That doesn't make sense, right? We're probably gonna, that probably is the pullback, and then you're gonna get liquidity, boom, break the highs, close bearish, and then fill that wick, right? And that'll be the 4-hour wick fill. So that would be the ideal trade here, not the buys here. And the ideal buys would be the ones that I just drew out. Does that make sense? Does anyone have questions on that? Right? This buy may be too late. If you guys have questions on that, please let me know. Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Yes, correct. Have I stopped using Top Step completely? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. There's no point. I'm using instant funded accounts now. They don't have them. These instant funded accounts are ran on the same like platform too. So I'll just use these guys now. What do I think about footprint charts and DOM level 2, market profile, order flow, time and sales, volume profile? Man, honestly, I'm confused already, brother. Maybe you can add this in to see how many buyers and sellers are breakouts. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty profitable, not even like thinking about any of that. So I just don't want to confuse myself with more stuff. You know what I mean? So I've had a profitable trading system for the last 4 years. The last thing I want to do is mess with it. Does that make sense? So like, maybe if I wasn't profitable yet, or if I was just trying to get things together, I would probably look into other things. But again, if it ain't broke, you know, why try and fix it? So I just kind of stick with the same stuff. Oh, charts for stream? Let's do it, SimZ. SimZ in the house. I think I might have seen you ask that like once earlier, but I forgot. By the way, everyone who won accounts on Friday, you should have your account in your email at this point. So they should be ready to go and ready to trade. Charts for stream. Charts for stream. Charts for stream. Can this be a counter trend trade? Yes. This is the ideal counter trend trade. Yep. So anytime like, and that's what I was saying here, only in the opposite direction. You don't like, let's say we were bearish or bullish. You don't want to sell off that candle right there. So like, you'll get this red candle. Don't take a sell on the next one in most cases, right? Wait for a little support. Wait for that next candle to close below, and then take your sells coming down. Same thing. This is what we're looking for the buys today, right? Something just like this. So whoever sent this, yeah, this is perfect. Exactly. This is exactly what you want to do. Yep. This will keep you very safe in the markets. Let's see here. Okay, we got 4-hour tap and target, 30-minute onion, birdie. 4-hour moved up without the target. So okay, let's see the result of this trade. Took this L. Aha. You see how it was an L? Right? You see how it was an L? You see what happened here? Price broke the lows. Remember what I just mentioned in the prior example? Don't take the sell off of that red candle right there. Because if you see that candle, everyone sees that candle, right? Everyone's going to be trying to predict the top, right? So once the first sign of a red candle shows up, they're going to take a sell, right? They're going to take a sell. And then that's the liquidity that gets grabbed. And then we move up. And then if you get a closure below, right? So let's say this happens, right? And now you have a support here. Now, if you get a bearish closure below, that's when it's safe to go ahead and start taking the sells. But off of that first red candle is a big no-no for me. In most cases, you know, there are certain situations where I will do that, but in most cases, the answer would be no there. Yeah, daily bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Yeah, just a lot of confusion going on here too. So that's where you want to wait for a range. You know, anytime it's bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, price is about to range. Wait for that range and then take the breakout. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say you could do better. Yeah, two good examples though. 30-minute breakout. Let's see. Yeah, same thing here, Chala. You know, no wick, bearish candle. I'm sorry, 4-hour time frame being bearish. This was just such a like a simple fake out to follow, right? You kind of have the feeling the fake out's coming there. You got a no wick here, and yeah, so I would have stayed out of that just based off of the bias and the 4-hour being bear there.
And there was no top wick. I remember when that was happening.
Yeah, the 30.
There was like a little to no top wick on that candle too.
Yeah, this one.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
one.
This is where I took my sell, you know, on that 15-minute celery there because of all that, right? Daily being in rejection, 4-hour being bearish, 30 closing with no top wick, expecting to fake out, 15-minute celery, boom, made it for such a good trade. And so follow that 4-hour. You know, that 4-hour is going to keep you right.
Yeah.
Ah, no wick. You see? So now no wick, right? So then we got to follow the plan. So had there been a wick there, we could have maybe got in for a wick fill, right? So that would have been perfect. But I bet you a lot of buyers are quaking now, right? They're like, damn, I should have listened to that stupid guy on YouTube, because now we don't know what's going to happen, right? This candle closed bearish. You know, I think now if we can get the bullish closure above, that's where we could take our buys. Right?
Those buys look much better.
Boom. And now you've already faked out all the other buyers. You know, maybe this candle drives down to stop them out. And now you get a bullish closure like that, break above, 4-hour being at target. That makes a lot more sense. And I will have a lot more confidence in that move versus, you know, the buy off of this red candle here. It's Monday, though. It's Monday. Bro. You feel me?
Facts. I'd be much more comfortable with those buys, too. Yeah, Goldie closing with no lower wick, of course.
Clubhouse, how we feeling? Y'all good? Good to see you guys, man. Who we got? All the heavy hitters. All the heavy hitters. Very nice. What up, Patrick? DJ Scratches in the building. What's up, Graceful? Always graceful.
What up, y'all?
It's always graceful. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so now if we pop up and close above, we may have a good buy position there. How do we know if it's going to be a retest or go for the lows? A lot of chart time, a lot of studying, understanding the bias, right? Putting the time frames together, all that. There's a lot that goes into this. That's why we encourage you guys to show up consistently every day, and every day you will learn and learn and learn, and little by little, you know, you'll catch all the little nuances. What chart is best? If you're trading forex, yeah, Oanda. I would probably use Oanda. Yeah, probably Oanda or something. Boom, boom, boom. What else? Who's got any good questions? I don't know. We might be wrapping this up here in like 20 minutes. We might be wrapping this up. It's looking choppy.
Christian's got a good question in the clubhouse.
Read it off, John. Let's get it.
All right. How do you decide on a higher time frame bias? Basically, what if the daily's the doji candle? How do you decide the bias? Or, yeah.
So that's something that we covered the other day when we had that daily doji. is that we just, I mean, this is what I do, and you can test. I would recommend testing this, but I just wash it out. So I just act almost as if that never happened. And that's something I learned from Raja back in the day, and that honestly has served me well, right? Because you could be so confused this day, right? Or you could just base your bias off of that support. And look what happened, you know, boom, pushed up. But if you were kind of making your judgment off of that, that could really screw your bias up there. So I would just wash it, scratch it, pretend it didn't happen, and base your analysis off of the previous candle that happened before that, especially in these type of situations where it's like kind of obvious, right? There's support over here to the left. This red candle has no bottom wick on it. You know what I mean? That this candle closed strong bullish, and then you get a random doji. Just wash that, get it out of the way, and then take your, you know, take your bias and your trades based off of that previous candle. That's what I would do. Or that's what I do.
Facts, bro. That works good for me as well.
Yeah, I think that works well.
Yeah, man, that might be it for me too.
I feel that. Might get a little tough down here. By the way, so like another thing too is you see how there's no, so you see how you have like, where can I put a resistance or anything like support resistance? You see how none of that's there? So what you can do is you can look left and you can use that, but then you could also use a resistance here. You see that one? So what you can do is you can use that. So from time to time, I'll use that because a lot of times what price will do over here is it will mirror what happened over here. That's why you see clean move, right? Consolidation. So a lot of times what's going to happen, clean move up, clean move down, right? It'll mimic what happened to the left. And if we look at this area in which we're currently at, if we look left, right, we may mimic that consolidation. So just another little tip for you guys that helps me stay profitable. What was the London session trade today? I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Did you guys take a trade in London today? I never show up for Sunday night Londons.
Yeah,
I never show up for the London sesh.
They did take a trade in London. If you guys want to send it in.
Yeah, send me the trade. I'll take a look. But I will be in London tonight, that's for sure.
Same.
Plus how the 4 hour opens and moves. Yeah, that's so true. Energy. Yep. 4 hour might want to make a lower wick. Exactly, because we could wick down there and all that, so it can get messy on the lower time frame. What's going on here? This guy Jaku. This is what happens when you make $1,000 in class. Oh snap, bro. Is this the trade? Was this trade taken or was this trade just set up? I'm not sure if did you guys take this or took it? 4 hour had no top wick. Gotcha. So yeah, I mean another trade where probably the only thing maybe you could have done better here is waited for the resistance and then the closure above, right? Anytime you're going against that 4 hour, so maybe that's the only thing you could have done better there, all right? Because I think if 4 hour had no top wick, that means I was right there, right? So yeah, maybe that's it. You know, you're fighting this heavy downtrend. So again, although we see the moves up, right? We want to make sure we, you know, in this scenario, in this situation, that everything lines up for that to happen. Yeah, we're just so bearish here. Makes sense. Trade makes sense. But we're just so dang bearish. Where was that? That was, what time frame was that? 30? Right here? One of these, right? What time was that? Little 1K.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it right there that you're looking at.
This one? 230?
Yeah, right there, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, left, you have all that stuff going on too. So,
Yeah, no.
I mean, I can see why the
I
trade was
can't.
taken, but if there was anything to do better, it'd probably just be that.
That's what I said too. I understood that. I understood the trade. Just the trend maybe was too strong.
Sundin Sesh? No, we call it the Munden Sesh. Yeah, don't forget this week we're gonna run Power Hour for on Wednesday. So we have Jerome Powell, Papa Powell speaking. Got the Fed press conference coming in at 2:30. Yeah, 2:30 on Wednesday. So we'll be lit for that.
We lit green.
How do you balance growing as a person while trying to grow as a trader? I kind of consider them one. You know, like I don't really separate things too much. Like my life is my business is my life. Does that make sense? Like I just live it. So there's almost like no off switch in a way to where it just all meshes together. It's very hard to explain. It's my mentor would say, Nick, you could walk and chew gum at the same time, right? So what he was saying there is like, you can work on yourself and still develop yourself as a trader, right? At the same time, like it's just like things go hand in hand with me. I don't know. It's hard to explain it. It's hard to explain it. Do I trade bank holidays? Not really, but I think we have a holiday called like Juneteenth, which I've never heard of here in the US. So maybe we'll show up for this day. Low liquidity and irregular volatility. I'm not too sure what this is. It just says observance of Juneteenth National Independence Day. I have no idea what that means. I hope I get Jem's discipline someday. He is the GOAT. He is.
Yo, thank you.
It's been a bank holiday for 2 or 3 years. That's crazy. I never even heard of it. Like I feel like I've heard the term Juneteenth. I didn't know it was a holiday. Raja is Raja taught me this trading style, but anytime I refer to my mentor, anytime I'm referring to Raja, I usually say his name. Anytime I refer to my mentor, it's usually my life coach who keeps I don't know. I don't want to really share his name and stuff up here.
Yeah, Manoush, at least, the thing with being disciplined, bro, it's like, all right, maybe I didn't make money today, but I didn't lose money either, because I was disciplined to my plan.
True.
So that's a cool thing about today as well. Yeah, Nick, bro, I was surprised too, bro. Juneteenth. You saw that?
Yeah, what is it?
It's the holiday, bank holiday.
What is it a bank holiday for?
I think it's like celebrating like freeing slaves, I'm pretty sure, something like that. Yeah, but that was the first time I've ever seen that. I was a little like caught off guard.
Did you ever get to a point where you hit a wall in your learning process? Of course, man. Many times. Many times. Yeah, I did it. So I had another business, as you guys know, for like 10 years before trading. So luckily for me, I learned a lot of personal growth and development, and a lot of the things that trading will kind of test you with, I already got tested with in life and just other business models. So there were many times, but I just had, you just got to dig deep and flip that switch, and you got to realize that your story is really not that unique, and that every successful person goes through points where they feel like they hit a wall. And it's what you do after that. You know, it's what decisions you make after that thought comes into your mind that determines whether or not you're going to be running with the dogs or not. You know, so some people will sit that and look at that wall as limitation and quit. Others, they'll look at the wall and they'll say, try me. I'll go over it. I'll go under it. Heck, I'll barge right through this thing. Right? If that's what it takes to get me to where I need to go. So I just looked at the wall as a temporary block, and I just pushed through it every time. I found a way somehow. I either dug under it, climbed over it, pushed through it, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you either do one of those three or you stop there and you quit. We have something called midsummer. Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. I think I'm done here. Yeah, I think I'm done. There's not much happening. I'm not taking these buys. I'm not interested until the sells until we close below 99. Yeah, so that probably just about does it for me. We basically ranged the entire session. So another lovely Monday here. We ranged from basically 2:30 in the morning all the way till 9:30 in the morning, and then just had a random push down here. So I think this was a good stream. Way to practice patience, discipline. I think we talked about a lot of really, really good, insightful things here today. And I hope you guys learned something. I hope you took something away from it. I hope you followed your plan as well. You know, if you made money here by cheating your plan, but the market's taking that back tomorrow. I'm not trying to put that on you. I'm just saying it happens every time. If you stuck to your plan, stayed disciplined today, you'll most likely get paid for that discipline tomorrow if you didn't get paid for it today. So I think it was a good day to kind of observe price action, and then we'll come back tomorrow. We got the red folders coming in tomorrow, right? Tomorrow and Wednesday, so that should stir things up a little bit. We may just be ranging prior to all the Fed stuff coming out here. So cool. Cool.
10
awesome.
of the Monday. Thank you, Nick, for your gems. Appreciate it, chat. Hope
Yes,
you guys
sir.
have a good day. Nick, I'll talk to you later, bro.
Peace out, Johnny Gems.
Peace out, my man. Peace, chat.
Chat,
Catch up.
Clubhouse, y'all stay blessed, stay disciplined, don't over risk, don't over trade, don't do anything crazy here today. We'll come back tomorrow where we got more volatility, more volume, and see if we can make do with that market condition. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Clubhouse, I'll see you guys in Asian session. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys in a couple hours in Asian. Deuces, my friends. Love y'all. Blessings to you and your family. I'm out of here. Later, gang. Peace.
100 gram.
Run around, got a lot fools. And I still got the crown like a bad tooth. I am cool, I don't gotta act cool. Just follow where I lead you, pack mule. Blowing through the budget, the cash ain't nothing. The way I flip back, straight tens from the judges. Yeah, I'm the too big, can't flush it. Probably gotta plunge it. Word is, this 10 years in the making. Word is, I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is, they don't see what it take to make it. But the word on the streets, I make it look easy. I'm flattering, cool, way too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. I'm actually smooth, it's far too easy. Word on the streets, I make it look easy. Easy, 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 too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. Too easy. Make it look easy, but it's not easy. Whip got wings, yeah, I feel like Ron Weasley. Live like kings, so the money ain't measly. Hits like Sting, honey, you cannot beat me. Did it so casual, must be a natural. Heard him say, yeah, it was gradual, but it's diagonal, going up. Me in the capital, super compatible, got me like, let's go. Gotta hop in my step, gotta bounce in my walk. Rubber bands from the check, it was more than I thought. Fresh press, squeaky clean, wide awake, what a dream. Hey there, hi, hello, what's the word, baby? Tell me you know, cause I know that the word is this 10 years in the making. Word is, I'm bringing home the bacon. Word is, they don't see what it take to make it. But the word on the streets, I make it look easy. I'm flattering, cool, way too easy. Word on the street is, I make it look easy. I'm actually Smooth is far too easy.
Word on the streets, I make it look easy.
Easy,
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 too easy. Word on the street is I make it look easy.
too easy.
No, I'm sitting there.
So long, that why I keep my top down. Live on my head cause I can't wear the crown too low. Never gon' bow down. Everybody out there running games so they pass on me. Treat 'em like a op, bow. When I came up, they were whooping but was still on a leash. People gon' talk down. They gon' low cause I still serve the most high. No, I won't stop now. When I throw signs up, it's not what they said, dog. Know that for H-Town. Roll with a warrant, try not to get caught, but I'm fly. Still put the top down. Love for the father, make kiss for the fans, yeah. Can't switch on y'all now. Only sinners walk with grace. Pack your bags, follow me home. Pray my seeds, turn out winners. Keeping that lead when I'm long gone. All of my fears can't hold me back. Let go of those who did me wrong. All of my fears won't hold me back. What don't kill me made me strong. Victory lap. We on attack. Ain't looking back. Rushing outside like I'm sleeping in a bando. Bible on me, I've been feeling like Rambo. Devil trying to hide, he ain't wearing no camo. Killing myself, God took it out the plan though. Still on fire for the Lord, where the fan go? Heard them talking stupid, to cut it just like a Van Gogh. I'm sitting glad, let me cut the thing real low. I've been looking up high when I feel low. And we still outside with the kinfolk. I was scraping both sides to the rim, bro. I was walking through church with the trench coat. Sending my 10% through Venmo. Lord said he'd be back, hit a memo. That's a cross round my neck, not a crystal.